It's an overcast day here at Whitehouse Field, and it's time for baseball as the Harwich Mariners host the Brewster Whitecaps in game number 4 between the M's and the Whitecaps in the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League Summer. Alongside Luke Brenneman, I'm Milo Hoffman. And Luke, Harwich comes in on a little bit of a hot streak now, have won back-to-back games. Their most recent, a win against YD, the best team in the league, and it was certainly a dominating one.
It was an electric win. 11 hits as a team for the M's. I thought they played their most complete game of the summer on Sunday afternoon on the road. It was a hot day, a beautiful day, as you can see. A lot of different things working well for the Mariners, and that was the one error of the game on a kind of a spinning throw from Castellano over at short, and Harwich was as cool as a cucumber the rest of the way.
Yeah, YD actually scored 3 runs in the first inning against the Mariners, but then the offense for the M's came to play. Cade Curlin scores, and then a strikeout from Brady Miller, the Harwich kid, who had himself a day over at Red Wilson Field after that rough first inning.
Yeah, 4 innings of 2-run baseball, never going to kill you. Gave up 3 runs, only 2 were earned. And then the Mariners' bats just took over this game. You dive into the box score, they were down 3-0 after the first. They tied it up in the top of the third. And then from that point on, they never really looked back. Talking about 6 unanswered runs. I mean, it was 9 unanswered runs after being down by 3, and it was just a collective effort, top of the order, really set the table for everyone else, and then credit to the middle and the bottom. They were the ones who were driving guys in.
That was a Ty Smolinski 2 RBI double, and then Tommy Gooden, who didn't start this game, rolled into 2 4-6-3 double plays off the bench, the Vanderbilt product, and then Castellano catches it on the fly to end the ball game, and Harwich picks up their second straight win over YD, who came into the day the best team in the league, and for the entire season they've almost been the best team in the league, 18-4 at the top with a tie. And then Brewster today, Harwich going against the Whitecaps, 15-7, the second best team.
Yeah, what's really exciting is you look at that final column on the right. If the Mariners win today, they're tied in points with Brewster, and you're pretty much tied for second. But you do start seeing YD now off back-to-back losses coming into tonight, up to 4 losses on the summer. Definitely still some distance with the Mariners having 9 losses, but it's doable. This is just game 25. I feel like it feels like just because we're beyond the midway point, there's a lot of baseball to play left. There's a lot of streaks to go on and weekends to fight through. I'm not as worried about the West right now because Harwich can really only control the East Division. But as of now, we see Chatham slipping a little bit, and it's turning into a 3-way race. It's up to Brewster and Harwich to make it competitive with YD for the top of the East.
Yeah, with the Harwich win over YD the last time out, I mean, who knows? There's still time to be played. It looked like YD was going to run away with being the best team in the league all summer long, but now it's looking a little bit different. And Brewster and Harwich getting set as the managers exchange lineup cards with the umpires. And today's game features 2 offensive teams who are pretty similar in stature. You look at the averages, the OPS, home runs, it's all very much in the same line right there in the middle of the pack towards the top of the league in most of these stats. Obviously, the Mariners with the most stolen bases. Brewster second most, but still 21 more than the next best Whitecaps. So it's going to be a similar tight battle on the offensive side tonight.
Yeah, I think that Harwich has just got to do what they've done all summer long. Credit to Brewster. Feels like they've played their game all summer long. Harwich, yes, they have a really good record, 6 games over 500 now, but they've been quite streaky, and I like this 2-game winning streak that they've bounced back on. But Brewster, a team that's had Harwich's number, looking for the Mariners to get on base with that 4th stat there. Pardon me, 5th, the base on balls. 2nd in Cape Cod. They did it 6 times in the win against YD. Then they can really wreak havoc. They're better with guys on base, driving them in, especially at home. This is a Mariner team that has been dominant at home this summer, 9-3 for record. That's second best in the Cape League. And tonight's a big one. You know, every game means the same, but tonight against a Brewster team to get evened up in the standings, I like the Mariners' chances tonight.
The Whitecaps come in 8-4 on the road. Pretty good for Brewster. We talked about the offense, and the Mariners are getting new offensive additions. Maybe not completely new, though. Luke Brenneman had a chance to speak with Nico Brini, the returning Mariner, before tonight's game. Take a listen.
5 of the Cape League summer. I'm here with Nico Brini. Nico was with Harwich last summer, and Mariner fans have been wondering if you were coming back. How good does it feel to be here?
This is great. I've been waiting for this all summer, so finally got the call to come down, and I'm so excited to be here.
All kinds of questions to ask you, whether it's Magic, transfer portal, but baseball first off. Another unbelievable season at Wofford. You hit over 350 for average, 45-plus runs batted in, but now you're headed to Vandy. So what was the transfer portal like, and how did you end up heading to the SEC now?
It was great. I wanted to do what was best, and I went down and fell in love with the coaches there and the environment and everyone. Most importantly, they were great people, and that's what sold it for me. So I can't wait. I can't ask for a better opportunity.
I got to give credit to Gino Antamarino, who was here last summer, came up with the nickname The Great Hubrini. That's because you are very good at magic. We saw it multiple times. Are you still doing magic tricks?
Always, yeah. I always keep them in the loop. So, anytime you go somewhere new, people ask to see them. So I'm sure I'll have to break them out here soon.
Have you been keeping up with the M's at all so far through the first half of this summer? Well over 500. They're playing good ball.
They are, yeah. I'm super excited to be a part of the squad now.
What are you looking forward to bringing to the table the rest of the way?
Really anything I can. I hope to just be in that outfield, catching anything that comes my way, getting on base, letting these bigger guys drive me in.
Electrifying outfielder Nico Brini, who's now a Vanderbilt Commodore, is back in Harwich. He's starting tonight against the Whitecaps. First pitch at 6:30.
All right, Nico Brini back in the lineup. First pitch at 6:30, like Luke said. He's batting 7th and playing left field. The players are taking the field here at Whitehouse Field. We're going to step aside, but be right back. First pitch, lineups, and all of that coming up on the other side on Cape League TV.
Number 8, Thomas Martin. Boston Detective Sergeant and attendant.
Back here at Whitehouse Field as we're getting set for baseball here, Mariners and Whitecaps on an overcast Tuesday evening here in Harwich, Massachusetts. All right, let's take a look at the Whitecaps lineup. Leading off is Jay Abernathy, Oklahoma product, playing second base. Right behind him, Jamie Laskowski, the UNC man, playing shortstop. Holden Pantiers batting third out of Georgia Tech. Blaine Brown is the left fielder, plays his college ball at Tennessee. Eddie Yaman right behind him, batting fifth out of LSU. He's playing first tonight. Cash Strayer, the Florida man, is DHing, batting sixth. And 7, 8, and 9, Owen Jenkins out of Texas Tech is catching. Michael Torres in center field. He had an absolute sparkler out in center field last time we saw him a couple of weeks ago here at Whitehouse Field. He plays his college ball at Miami. And rounding out the lineup is Brody DeLamelier, the Florida State product, who's playing right field. They'll go against Tommy Martin, making his first start for the Mariners. The University of Maine product pitched 35 innings this past season at Maine to a 6.43 ERA, 33 strikeouts. He did walk 27 and gave up 4 home runs. 18 appearances, just one of them starts. So starting is something that Martin is not necessarily used to.
Not a huge punch-out guy. You mentioned it, 33 Ks, 35 innings. We haven't got the chance to talk to Tommy yet because he's been such a late arrival to this team, but he's here, and there's no better way, as we've seen throughout the course of the summer, to get acclimated to this ball club than to go out and show your teammates and your guys behind you, hey, I can play too. I fit in on this team. Looking forward to seeing what the big 6'4" righty brings tonight at Whitehouse Field.
Not the first University of Maine product that we've seen so far this summer. Jason Krieger just got drafted to the New York Yankees. Was an absolute stud here for the Mariners to begin the season. He's no longer with the team, but now his teammate at the collegiate level is trying to pick up where he left off, making a big start for the M's tonight wearing the number 8 uniform. As we're just about set to go here from Whitehouse Field, Mariners tonight in their cream white tops with the high red socks, and the Whitecaps are on their navy blue tops with the teal lettering and white pants. The lefty Jay Abernathy steps into the box. Martin toes the slab from the first base side of the rubber. Here's in for the sign from catcher Sean James. Comes set and fires. Fastball at high in the air. Shallow center field. Shortstop Smolinski's there, and he makes the pit out. 1 pitch, 1 out here to begin the top of the first, and a next start for Martin in his Mariner career.
Yeah, that's pretty efficient. On average, you might just need 27 pitches tonight. Throw a perfect game here in Harwich. But in all seriousness, I think that from talking to Hunter Dilworth throughout the course of 2 summers now and a lot of other pitching coaches here on Cape Cod, I think a lot of these arms feel the pressure of the scouts that are staring right at them from behind home plate. And they said the biggest thing we preach to our guys is just fill up the zone. You don't got to strike everyone out. Use your defense behind them. And a good start on 1 pitch for Martin.
There's the lefty Laskowski pitch home. It is an off-speed that misses upstairs and away. So the count is 1-0 on the shortstop for Brewster. Plays his college ball at UNC. Hitting .325 this season. 2 homers and 10 RBIs. Pitch home. It is way outside. James has to reach to bring that one back in. And it's 2-0. A Cape League All-Star, Laskowski, crouches down in the lefty box with his even stance. Duo. Popped up, left side foul, and it's 2-1. Umpires for tonight, Joseph Giacchio is the man behind home. Silvio Martinez is manning first base, and Joe Cruz over at third. It's a windy one here in Harwich. It's been windy all day, kind of a weird vibe. 2-1. There's a tapper slowly down the first baseline. Pitcher Martin goes over, but he sees it into foul territory, and it's 2-2.
So I heard something today and also read it on my phone that this kind of yellowish sky feel is from fires coming from north of us in Canada and just getting that airflow pushed down our direction. I mean, Cape, you're going to get wind a lot of the time just because we're right on the water here, especially in Harwich. Whitehouse Field, probably 3 blocks from the water. But nothing like this.
2-2. Poked into shallow left center field. Kirikov charges. Left fielder Brini dives, and he makes the play. Welcome back to Harwich, Nico Brini. Showing off the leather. 2 gone.
Back like he never left. I mean, he is such a ball player on every level. And that's how you know a guy is ready to play from the first pitch. When he can track a ball like this that looked like it was going to fall for a hit in just the top of the first inning. Talk to him in warm-ups. You heard the interview. He doesn't have much to say, but he brings everything he's got when he gets onto the diamond. He is one heck of an outfielder.
Here's the righty Pantier pitch. It is a strike on the outside corner at 90 miles an hour. It's 0-1. And Nico Brini took him 2 batters to be welcomed. 0-1. It is a slider way outside, and it's 1-1.
I mean, the wind today is almost like there's a big storm coming in, which there's not tonight.
1-1. A breaking ball misses outside, just barely, and it's 2-1. Yeah, you looked at the weather. I was doing it all day. No rain, but a lot of wind. The air quality index was high, too. 2-1. There's a breaking ball that had no break and missed inside, so it's 3-1. Three balls, one strike, 2 outs here, top of the first. Martin fires. Tapped foul, and it's 3-2. Holden Pantier in 7 games so far this summer, a .375 hitter, no homers and 4 RBIs. Man out of Georgia Tech restraps his red armor over his left elbow. Has those yellowish batting gloves. Kind of like a yellow jacket color. Payoff pitch. Chopper, shortstop side. Smolinski's there. Charges, fires to first in time. And that does it here in the top of the first. A smooth 1-2-3 frame for Tommy Martin and his first appearance with the Mariners. We head to the bottom of the first. Mariners coming to bat on Cape League
coming
TV.
out to Whitehouse Field tonight. The Brewster
Whitehouse Field as we head to the bottom of the first. Still no score between the Whitecaps and the Mariners. And now Harwich coming to bat. We'll run through the lineup. Leading off for the M's is Colin Larson, the right fielder who's worked 4 walks in his last 4 games. Nate Castellone behind him batting second and playing third. Ty Smolinski, the shortstop, is batting third. Braden Jacksa, the DH, is cleaning up. A man out of Oregon. Behind him, back in the lineup, first game since July 8th, is Quentin Coates batting 5th and playing first. Cade Curlin, the second baseman, bats 6th. Nico Brainey, who already made a sparkler of a defensive play in the top half of the inning, is batting 7th and playing left. Sean James, the catcher, is behind the plate. He's batting 8th. And Micah Kirikoff is rounding out the lineup in center field, batting 9th. And tonight, the Mariners go against the lefty pitcher on the hill for Brewster. He is Sebastian Santos Olsen out of Miami. He, so far this summer, has pitched 6 times. He actually has 2 saves in 7 2/3 innings. He has yet to give up an earned run, striking out 8 hitters to just 1 walk.
Yeah, he's electric. He pitched a ton in his freshman season at Miami. He's just a rising sophomore, pitched to a 4.19 ERA and over 30 innings of action over there at the U. And he's really expanded upon that. You saw the numbers on the Cape. Still has not surrendered an earned run in over 7 innings. Has been a bullpen guy, but he's getting a crack at starting here in Harwich.
Colin Larson, the lefty, digs into the box, playing right field tonight for the Mariners. The lefty on the hill, Santos Olsen, set at the belt. Here's the first pitch. A strike on the outside corner at 91 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. No score. Brewster and Harwich here, bottom of the first. As the wind continues to pick up here at Whitehouse Field, it's been windy all day long in this part of Massachusetts. 0-1. Fastball outside, and it's 1-1. American flag out in right center field is breezing in the wind. Lights are on here early at Whitehouse. Normally it's a 4th or 5th inning thing when a 6:30 first pitch, but early lights tonight. 1-1. Hit hard to right field, but playable for Delamalier. He's there, and he makes the one-handed grab. Only had to move about 3 steps or so to his left, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, strong enough wind tonight to have a serious impact on the game, and especially fly balls to the outfield. But it's hard to track if it's going to hurt or help it because the gusts have been in every which direction. I mean, I'm just looking at what would be the batter's eye if they had one in center field, and every tree out there is shaking and rocking.
Pitch though, the righty Castellón is a looper, left field. That's a base hit. Off the end of the bat, Castellón got around it and poked it into left for a single, and the Mariners have one on with one gone here in the bottom of the first. Castellón continues to rake a .356 average coming into the evening.
From Kansas State.
He is now 7 for his last 18, and he's been a hit machine ever since arriving in Harwich.
He loves jumping on those first pitches, too. If he gets something in the zone, continues to just drive the ball and get on base.
Here's the lefty Smolinski with Castellón off first. Pitch way outside, a 91-mile-an-hour heater blocked by the catcher Jenkins. Fans still filing in here at Whitehouse Field. In a couple days, the All-Star Game is going to be played here. Always an exciting time here on the Cape. 1-0. Just missed outside, a 92-mile-an-hour heater. And it's 2-0 now on Smolinski. .318 average this season for the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star starter. 2-0. Ground ball right side, just foul. It was scooped up by the first baseman Yaman anyways, but it's now 2-1 on a rocker off Smolinski's bat.
Got the chance to talk to Ty after the win on Sunday afternoon in Yarmouth Dennis, and he mentioned his approach at the plate. He says he likes diving into the analytics and seeing the numbers of the opposing pitcher, what he likes to go to, and then he structures his plate appearance, whether he's going to look for something early or dig in like this at bat in a 2-1 count, depending on the opposing arm.
There's the offering. Line drive to right field. That gets into right, a base hit. Castellón up to second. Back-to-back singles for the M's here in the bottom of the first. Here, one gone, still no score, but the M's bats are brewing just like they did against the Red Sox last time out.
Yeah, Smolinski just continues to stay on fire. He's been on fire the entire summer, but he was on base 4 times against YD. He was really the spark in the lineup that was somehow better than everyone else, and everyone had a good day on Sunday against the Red Sox. And he is an all-star. I would make the argument he's a top 3 player out here on the Cape.
Here's Jackson, another weapon. Pitch. Oh, a fastball right there down the middle, and it's 0-1 on Braden Jackson. Just his 5th game of the summer with Harwich. 6 for 18, no homers, 3 RBIs. He just does have 2 doubles at the plate. Runners take their leads. Here's the 0-1. Curveball left upstairs, but called a strike. It was a hanger from Santos Olsen, the lefty, and it's 0-2.
Surprised to see Jackson take back-to-back strikes. We had talked about on a broadcast a couple of days ago, he is just a true hitter. He doesn't go up there trying to walk. He doesn't go up there trying to see pitches. He lets it rip.
There's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, a curveball downstairs. So Jackson down on strikes, and there's 2 gone now in the bottom of the first. Like Luke just said, that's just his 3rd strikeout of the summer thus far. He's been praised on putting the ball in play the majority of the time. Down on strikes there, first strikeout of the night for Sebastian Santos Olsen, and now it's Quentin Coates, the righty. Digs into the box, crouches in his stance. There's the pitch home. Runners go from second, and the pitch is a strike. No throw on Castellón, so that's a stolen base for the Mariner third baseman, his 2nd on the summer. Heads up base running there from Castellón. He got a good jump. Smolinski didn't run off of first, and the catcher Jenkins ate the ball, no throw. Santos comes set, checks on Smolinski. Here's the pitch. A wave and a miss from Coates on a breaking ball down in the dirt. It's 0-2. That pitch on the steal from Castellón was a called strike. So now nothing in 2 gone, bottom of the first. No score between the Mariners and the Whitecaps. Here's the 0-2. Just barely misses inside. A fastball Coates tried to duck out of the way to almost sell the pitch being inside. And it's 1-2.
Santos Olsen was off the rubber. He was moving. He thought it was going to be called strike 3. Sometimes that messes with pitchers' heads when they think they're out of the frame.
He comes set. Checks back to first on Smolinski. Ty over there on the season is 9 of 11 in stolen base attempts. Wears that sliding glove over his left hand. Castellone off of third. Ty over at first. 2 gone here, bottom of the first. Coates kind of trying to come through here for the M's. First game played since July 8th. Check back to Smolinski again is not in time. Seen a lot of teams do this against the Mariners. Check on runners, check on runners. Some back picks from the catchers. Trying to make the M's stay humble. They lead the league with 80 stolen bases on the season. One, two. Swinging a foul tip just in the dirt. It looked like it was held on by the catcher Jenkins, but it scraped the plate. And so Coates stays just alive, and it's now 1-2.
See if Coates can battle. Hasn't been in the lineup in a while. Could be a good time to come through, get Harwich on the board. Mariners have not scored a run in the last 22 Brewster runs against Harwich.
They've been shutting down the M's. 1-2. Downstairs, a slider. Nice block by Jenkins on the inside corner. It's now 2-2. Yeah, that dates back to the 4th inning of the July 3rd game between Harwich and Brewster. Mariners won that game 2-1. It was a pitcher's duel. But since then, the M's have not scored against the Whitecaps. 2-2. Runner goes from first. Pitch is a swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt, and down goes Coates. Make it 2 strikeouts in the frame for Santos Olsen, and the Mariners strain 2 on. We go to the second, still no score here on Cape League TV.
July 18th at 6:05 p.m.
Back here at Whitehouse Field on a windy Tuesday afternoon. No score, Mariners and Whitecaps. Here as we begin the top of the second. And a reminder that Milton Cat is proud to power the Cape all summer long. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the Whitecap lineup. First pitch is downstairs to Blaine Brown, the lefty left fielder. It's 1-0 now on the Tennessee product. Still Tommy Martin on the hill for the M's. 1-0. Is downstairs, and it's 2-0, an 81-mile-an-hour curveball from Martin. He worked a real smooth 1-2-3 first inning. A pop out to Jay Abernathy. Another pop out to Jamie Laskowski, which was an excellent play from the left fielder Nico Brini. 2-0. Is inside, and it's 3-0 on Brown. And then a ground out to shortstop from Holden Pantier. Now behind in the count 3-0, though, to Blaine Brown. Here's the pitch. Down Broadway with a fastball, and it's 3-1. The wind is really blowing here tonight. It's got kind of an eerie feel. 3-0. Downstairs, ball 4, so a 5-pitch walk. by Tommy Martin to Blaine Brown, and the Whitecaps have their first base runner of the evening. And that walk is our free pass of the game, presented by Cape Cod Community College. Go to Cape Cod Community College for free. Every program, no tuition or fees for those that qualify. CapeCod.edu/free for more. Tommy Martin this past year at Maine had 27 walks, so it was a struggle. First pitch is a strike to the righty Eddie Yaman. And it's 0-1 on the first baseman. Yaman hitting .281 this season. Check over to first, not in time on Brown, who's yet to steal a base so far this summer. Yaman waves his bat in the righty box with his open stance. 0-1. A strike on the outside corner, 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Martin. So it's quickly 0-2 on Yaman here in the top of the second. One on with nobody out. No score, Mariners and Whitecaps. Another check over to first, not in time.
Nice start to this at-bat for Martin. Mentioned he lost Brown on 5 pitches, kick off the inning. Quickly ahead 0-2 on Yaman.
Another check over on Brown, not in time, but an aggressive tag from the first baseman, Coates. He's happy to be back out there. Like I said, first game since July 8th. Here's the 0-2. Curveball left downstairs, and Yaman squats after he took that one. A nice take from the first baseman. And now it's 1-2. Martin on the hill works fast. He likes to climb back on the hill, get the pitch, and come set quickly. 1-2. Downstairs, a nice block by James, had to backhand it. Faked a throw over to first base, but didn't make the throw. So 2-2.
I think with a lot of the guys, and I'm not speaking for Tommy Martin, but coming out of Maine, you're pitching to Yaman, who is a national champion in his career at LSU.
Pitch is just inside, and it's 3-2.
And he got ahead 0-2, and right now he's nibbling, where sometimes the guys with maybe not the most velocity like Martin, you want to throw the perfect pitch because you're ahead and you've gotten ahead, but really you don't want to get yourself in these 3-ball counts.
Payoff delivery is fouled hard down the third baseline. And Yaman is up there battling, takes a couple steps outside the box. He's a dangerous guy, like you're saying. Yeah, you start to nibble, start to be a little careful. Yaman hit a home run last time Brewster was here against Harwich, deep to right field. 3-2. Here it is. Runner goes. Pitch is a swing and a miss. Throw to second is not in time. Almost a strike him out, throw him out, double play. But Brown instead swipes his first bag of the summer, and there's one gone in the top of the second, still 0-0.
Really nice throw on both ways. This breaking ball is wicked to get the swing and the miss. And it looked like the throw actually beat Brown. It did, but how about that athleticism? Blaine Brown. He only stole 5 bases at Tennessee this year. He's also 6'3". You can see the length on him, and he used that to his advantage with that headfirst dive.
There's the lefty hitting Cash Strayer with Brown off second. Pitch home is in the dirt, and a block by James. 1-0. Yeah, he almost had to swim dodge that slide over there at second base. We saw him hitting BP before the game. He was hitting tanks, effortless tanks.
He was killing the ball.
Yeah. We looked at each other. I mean, sometimes you just hear it off the bat. He had that. 1-0. Line drive deep to right field. Larson back on the track. That ball escapes the yard, and it's gone. Cash Strayer with his 3rd home run of the season. And just like that, it's 2-0 Brewster here in the top of the second.
That thing got out of here in a hurry. To the pull side for Strayer. He's kind of their sneaky little hide him in the lower 4th of the lineup all-star for Brewster.
From Texas Tech, the catcher.
And he's done nothing but rake. He's now up to 3 homers on the summer.
3 of them. He's an all-star. We'll be back here at Whitehouse Field over the weekend. Pitch home to the righty hitting Jenkins. Misses outside, and it's 1-0. So after a smooth first inning, that leadoff walk here in the second comes back to haunt Tommy Martin, the Mariners starter. 1-0. Breaking ball way inside. And Jenkins has to duck out of the way, and it's 2-0. Jenkins, a .232 hitter, no homers, no RBIs so far this summer as well. 2-0. Swinging a foul tip into James' glove, and it's 2-1. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball there from Martin. Features a fastball, slider, changeup, curveball mix. Goes to the fastball over 50%. 2-0, a chopper, third base side. Castellon gobbles, fires to first. Skipper, that's picked up by Coates in time. And there's 2 gone.
Nice play by Coates. Castellon's throw was at least 2-3 feet short of that first base bag. Coates able to concentrate. You could see him just put his head behind his glove and really focus. That's a big second out. You don't want these innings to snowball when there's runs already in. You look at the last time out for Harwich, Brady Miller gave up 3 runs in the first inning and then ended up going 4 innings of 3-run baseball.
That's a great point. He bounced back nicely. Pitched the lefty Delamo Torres. Is a strike. It's 0-1. Michael Torres, the center fielder for Brewster, hitting .217 this summer, but he plays quite the center field. Made a spectacular play in center last time Brewster made the trip to Whitehouse. 0-1. And is inside barely with a curveball, and it's 1-1. 2-0 Brewster over Harwich here, top of the second, after the 2-run shot from Cash Strayer a couple batters ago. Martin steps back on the rubber, looks at his watch for the pitch from pitching coach Hunter Dilworth, and he gets it. Here's the 1-1. Tapped off the foot of Torres, so foul, and it's 1-2.
I think Torres made the play of the year here at Whitehouse Field defensively the last time these two teams played here in Harwich. Remember that line drive in right center field off the bat of Larson. It was a 4 or 5 run Brewster lead. The bases were loaded.
Yep.
And Torres laid out for a ball that he had to run maybe 60, 80 feet to even have a chance of getting to, and he made an ending play.
Martin ready for the 1-2. Here it is. Nubber down the third baseline, fair and into left field. Torres rounds first and cruises into second as the ball is picked up by Brini and thrown back in. So a 2-out double for Torres. He rises his .217 batting average. And now there's a runner on second with 2 gone. 2-0 Brewster here in the top of the second.
This beats the Harwich shift, but I think it beats anyone even playing third base. There wasn't a Mariner to the left of the typical shortstop position with Torres expecting the lefty to pull. And he was just caught late and was able to, I'm not going to act like he tried to do that, but he got it down the line, and now he's aboard in scoring position.
That's one of those balls that even if Castellon was playing third base in his normal spot, he still probably doesn't get there. Just hug the line. Here's the number 9 hitter, Brody Delamelier. Pitch. Inside with an off-speed at 81 miles an hour, and it's 1-0. Delamelier now the 6th player to come to the plate in this inning for Brewster, after the 1-2-3 first by Tommy Martin on the mound for Harwich. Wynn picks up 1-0. Curveball curls in for strike number 1.
Seen a lot of that curveball tonight. When you dive into Martin's pitch mix at school, he only used the curveball 10% of the time, but I think right now he's been going to it because he can throw it for a strike.
1-1. Curveball at high in the air, left field. Brini backs up, nears the track, at the wall, leaps, and he makes the grab. Nico Brini again. How about 2 web gems in 2 innings for the newest Harwich Mariner? And that does it here in the top of the second. Oh my goodness, Nico Brini off balance and all. Brewster brings home 2 runs as we head to the bottom of the second here on Cape League TV.
iOS, Android, and smart TVs.
Nico Brainy, welcome back to Harwich. Had a web jam in the first, and in the second, back against the wall, he makes the grab. Probably wasn't going out, but saved another run from Brewster and an extra base hit. We head to the bottom of the second here at Whitehouse Field. 2-0 Whitecaps over the Mariners now after the Castrayer 2-run home run in the top half of the frame. It's still the lefty Sebastian Santos Olsen towing the slab for Brewster, and he deals to 6, 7, and 8 in the Harwich lineup, starting with the righty hitting second baseman Cade
Leading
Kurland.
off the bottom of the second inning for Harwich, from Florida, the second baseman, number 11, Cade Kurland.
Mariners stranded 2 runners on back in the bottom of the first after a pair of singles from Castellone and Smolinski. 2 strikeouts followed from Braden Jackson and Quentin Coates. Pitch home. Fastball downstairs. And the count is 1-0. That came in at 90 miles an hour. It's about where Santos Olsen has been sitting so far this evening. Here's the 1-0. Bopped up right side, foul territory, and into the bleachers. Packed bleachers down the first base line. A couple kids run after that one. And the count's 1-1 on Kurland.
You know, you don't want to over-dramatize something, Milo, but all we have to compare is the 3 other times these two teams have played.
Here's the 1-1. Way inside with the curveball.
And whenever Brewster has had a lead, they have not coughed it up, and they've run away with the lead the last 2 wins they have over Harwich. So I think it's big for Harwich in these early to middle innings to stay their way in this game. Only 2 runs. They're in it right now.
There's the 2-1. Just missed inside with a fastball, and it's 3-1 on Kurland.
But when you give up the 2-run shot in the top half of the inning, you look back to that 2-hit Mariner first inning. And now it stings a little bit more that Harwich could not cash in that opening inning.
Last game against YD as the 3-1 comes in. Fouled right back, it's 3-2. Harwich went 4 of 16 with runners in scoring position. They still did pick out the win. Back on July 3rd, Mariners won 2-1 over Brewster, but ever since on the 4th, 13-0 Whitecap win. On the 8th of July, 8-0 Brewster. 3-2. Hard hit into left center field. That had eyes for the gap, and it bloops in for a base hit. It's cut off by the center fielder Torres. Kurland rounds first and runs into second with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the second. So Cade Kurland, who had a big 2 RBI double against YD in Harwich's last win, is back at it with the extra base hit, and the Mariners are in business.
Nico Brainy.
He's one of those guys, Milo, that although I would say he's had a very solid summer in Harwich, I think everyone kind of just knows he's got a lot more left. And when he starts showing it off, that's now back-to-back games with doubles, I think he has the type of talent to really take over a game in this league with his bat.
Came in hitting just .226, but a very consistent presence in the lineup. Here's the pitch to the lefty, Brainy. A strike at the knees. It's 0-1. That one looked close. Brainy kind of a head nod after that. Twirls his bat a few times. Last season at Wofford, a .353 average for Brainy. 8 homers and 56 RBIs. Now transferring to Vanderbilt for this next season. There's the 0-1. Line drive to left field. Brown is there, goes towards the line, and he makes the grab. And there's one gone. Brainy hit it well. He knows something or two about making decent plays out in left field. Brown was there and made the easy grab.
From Mississippi State.
Yeah, it's a tough first out.
Number
Kind of just looking for that ground ball to the right side and maybe scratch one across if Kurland can get to third base in a one-out situation for James. As of now, it's going to take a base hit for James and the Mariners.
James comes in 1 for his last 8, a .216 hitter on the season. The righty in the box. Kurland jumps off of second, and the throw does not go to third base from pitcher Santos Olsen. He stepped off the mound, realized that Kurland was running, threw to second or faked the throw, peeled it back, and by the time he looked at third, there was no time.
Kurland is like just a fox out there. I mean, he can just disappear. He's always dancing around. He was halfway down the line with his secondary leadoff. Why not take third?
There's the pitch to Sean James. Swinging a foul tapper down the third base line.
Something about everything that Curlin does. He's going to his redshirt senior season now, transferring to LSU, but it feels like he's a little bit more mature and has that baseball IQ a few ticks higher than most guys out here, where he just understands the game and kind of takes what comes to him. And stealing third there is a huge deal for Harwich.
Infield comes in 0-1. Curveball fouled back. It's 0-2. That was a late switch there from the middle of the infield. Jay Abernathy and Jamie Laskowski, the shortstop and second baseman, charged in as Santos Olsen was already in his wind. 2-0 Brewster over Harwich. Runner on third with one gone here, bottom of the second. The 0-2 to James. Strike three called right down Broadway with a 90-mile-an-hour heater, and there's two gone.
That's a tough one. A really good at-bat from Sebastian Santos Olsen on the rubber. I mean, that's the way to do it. That's what we talked about, it feels like a week ago, when Dennis Cook and Chatham was in town. And we asked him about pitching with runners on base and situations like that. He said, you got to attack. The pitcher's got to be the aggressor. He threw 3 strikes in that at-bat to James. 3.
James with his 11th strikeout of the summer. Here's Micah Kirikoff, the righty. Pitch home. Strike on the inside corner. Another fastball from Santos Olsen. He's gone to the heater a whole bunch so far tonight. Past season at college, he went to it about 50% of the time. 0-1. Kirikoff lets it go, and it gets by the catcher Jenkins to the screen, and Curlin comes home to score. So the Mariners get one run across here in the bottom of the second after the wild pitch from Santos Olsen. Now 2-1 Brewster.
Curlin kind of did that entire run all by himself. Matter of fact, he did. Doubled, stole third, and now nobody will bring him in, so he said, heck with that. I'm just going to take one to the backstop and scurry in myself. That's a big run to scratch across, kind of rewards Harwich for their 3 hits.
There's the 1-1. Outside with the curveball. It's 2-1, and Kirikoff takes a couple steps outside the righty box.
I think something you can respect about Micah, although it's been a tough summer hitting 118 at the plate, is that he's grinded in every at-bat.
2-1. Just missed inside. Kirikoff nods his head in approval of the call from Joseph Giacchio, the home plate umpire.
Is that his hair kind of sticking out of his helmet
hair
there?
Sticking out of his helmet.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if he did it on purpose. 3-1. Kirikoff chops it up the middle, and it's into center field, a base hit. The hair sticking out of the top of the helmet is good luck. Kirikoff with his first hit since June 29th. He's aboard with 2 gone here in the bottom of the second.
And he gets speed on the bases. I like that from Micah. A guy struggling at the dish, gets ahead in the count, and maybe a borderline 3-1 pitch. He takes it up the middle for a knock. Not trying to beg his way on by fighting for calls. He just does it himself with a base hit. It's been a long time since that happened. See if Micah can get going, especially the top of the order with 2 outs, turning it over. Speed off of first base.
There's the lefty Larson. Pitch home. A curveball that soars over the middle of the zone. And it's 0-1, a 79-mile-an-hour. Last time against YD, the last game the Mariners played, Brady Miller, the Harwich starter, had a 60-mile-an-hour ephus on the hill. Kirikoff leads 0-1. A strike on the outside corner with a fastball. It's now 0-2 on Larson, who flew out to right back in the first inning, hitting .306 this summer, 3 homers and 12 RBIs. Squats in the lefty box with his very even stance. It seems like everything is just so under control from him. Santos Olsen steps off the hill. When Larson's up, he's got a calmness to his game.
It's on his time.
Few steps outside the box. Kirikoff leads. Olsen checks on Kirikoff. And he comes home. Curlin, line drive to right, base hit. Kirikoff around second, but he holds on there. It's a single from Colin Larson. His first time aboard tonight, and just like that, the M's have 2 on with 2 out here in the bottom of the second. 2-1 Brewster.
That's an 0-2 just trying to save himself type of swing, and that just defines the type of player Larson is. Not trying to do too much, smacks it into right field, pitch breaking away from him, and you set up Castellon, who already has a hit tonight with 2 on and 2 out.
A 356 hitter in the righty Castellon. There's the offering. Inside, Castellon has to raise his bat there to avoid getting hit. It's now 1-0 on the Cal Poly product.
Harwich up to 5 hits already in just the second inning of this game, coming off 11 on Sunday against YD.
1-0. Inside. Nice scoop there by the catcher, Jenkins. It's now 2-0. Yeah, those 9 runs against YD, the second most runs allowed for YD all summer long. The Red Sox had the best team ERA coming into the evening, heading into that game 2 days ago. 2-0. Upstairs, it's now 3-0 on Castellon.
I think the Mariners are totally fine if Santos Olson wants to load the bases on one more pitch outside the zone. You got Smolinski coming up next for Harwich.
And now Brian Del Russo is out of the dugout, the Whitecap pitching coach, and takes a trot out onto the mound. 2-1 Brewster here over Harwich, bottom of the second. Mariners had the bases empty after that wild pitch that Curling came home to score. And ever since then, a Kirikov single and a Larson single, and now a 3-0 count on Castellon, a pitch away from loading the bases. And like Luke said, 5-2 in the hits column in favor of the Mariners so far this evening.
Yeah, Harwich just got to cash in. When you have a pair of 2-out hits, you might not have anything to show for in the inning. But with this part of the order up, this is a spot that we may be looking back on towards the back half of this contest. We know these two teams are so much alike, the margin's so thin in a sport like this, and a spot for Castellon now ahead in the count.
Brewster on top 2-0 after the Castrayer 2-run homer. Mariners bring one back this inning. Can they get some more? 3-0. Fastball right down Broadway, and it's 3-1. Trees are blowing in center field here at Whitehouse. No signs of rain, but the wind is definitely playing a factor. Seen a few fly balls with some extra carry tonight. 3-1. Inside, ball 4, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Nate Castellon. And now the M's have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. They trail 2-1.
And this is a 2-out rally. You've got 3 straight guys reaching base to set up your best hitter. Can Smolinski come through for Harwich with 2 outs?
Smolinski already has a single today. A .318 hitter. 4 homers and 12 RBIs for the shortstop. Left on left, here's the pitch. In the dirt, nice block by Jenkins, kept it in front of him, and prevents Kirikov from coming home to score.
Run-saving play. We already saw one of those in this inning. We know Kirikov is hungry to cross home plate any way possible over there at third.
Mariners hitting .300 this summer with the bases loaded. They have 1 grand slam. That off the bat of Trent Grinlinger against Falmouth weeks back. Smolinski in the lefty box crouches. Santos Olson on the hill comes set. And he fires. Downstairs with a curveball, and it's 2-0.
I think what Harwich has done nicely, and credit Kirikov, because he was the catalyst to this, was when he got on with 2 outs, these are 3 consecutive all-star bats atop the Harwich lineup. And Santos Olson's trying to pick around him. Well, now there's nowhere to put Smolinski.
Here's the big 2-0 pitch. High drive, right field. Delamalier moves over into the gap. That ball at the wall, and the center fielder Torres makes the play. It just kept on carrying. Off the bat, I thought for sure that was going to be played easily. But it went back to the track. Instead, a long fly out for Smolinski. But the Mariners do bring home 1 run after the wild pitch and the Curlin score. 2-1 Brewster as we head to the third on Cape League TV. Back here at Whitehouse Field as we head to the third. Whitecaps on top of the Mariners, 2-1. 2 runs off of the bat of Cash Strayer, the DH tonight for Brewster. Hit a 2-run shot in the second, deep to right field. And the Mariners brought home another run, or their first run of the evening, after a Kay Curlin score on a wild pitch. It's still Tommy Martin on the hill for the Mariners. He deals to the top of the Brewster lineup, starting with Jay Abernathy, the lefty second baseman. Martin comes set at the belt, and he fires. Off speed down the middle for strike number 1 at 80 miles an hour. Abernathy popped out to shortstop back in the first. First pitch of the ball game. 0-1. Strike on the outside corner, 79 mile an hour off speed, and it's 0-2.
That's a nasty pitch, already ahead in the right on left matchup. Abernathy didn't even want that one, but it's strike 2 anyway.
0-2. Down in the dirt. And it's blocked off the chest protector by Sean James. It's now 1-2. Abernathy digs back into the lefty box with his black bat. Rested along his left shoulder. 1-2. Chopper back to the pitcher Martin. Over his head, though. Smolinski can't backhand it. It trickles slowly into center field. Kirikov charges. Abernathy to second. Underhand toss by Kirikov, not in time. Oh, my goodness. That would have been one of the best plays I've ever seen from Micah Kirikov. He tried to underhand toss it from shallow center field, but credit to Abernathy, who stretched a seeing eye chopper up the middle that Smolinski couldn't handle into a double.
I think Smolinski, mid-run up to that ball, was debating whether it was do or die enough to bare-hand it, and at the last second reached the glove out, but the ball went under the mitt. And that's really heads-up base running because Abernathy knows he has speed. He leads the Brewster team with 11 stolen bases. The outfield grass, it can slow the ball down.
Lefty Laskowski chops one back up the middle. Smolinski this time handles it, fields and fires to first in time. Abernathy moves to third base on the play, though. So a runner at third with 1 gone here, top of the third, and Brewster holds a 2-1 lead.
How often do you see identical plays on back-to-back pitches? That barely escaped the tip of Martin's leaping mitt, or he didn't even try that time. But Smolinski knew that the runner Laskowski, not Abernathy, doesn't get down the line as quickly and took his time for a big first out.
Here's the right-handed hitting Holden Pantier pitch home. Is outside with the curveball. It's now 1-0 on Pantier. He grounded out to short back in the first. A .375 hitter so far this summer. Slight pause here on the diamond as Martin looks at his watch, and Abernathy is dancing off of third. Infield played back. Here's the 1-0. Curveball spins in for strike number 1.
Scouting report says that it's really only a breaking ball. Change-up or curve 27% of the time. We've seen a lot of it there. He likes his slider.
1-0. Slider hit on the ground, blocked by Castellon off his chest. He fields and throws to first in time. Abernathy comes home. Throw from Coates. Not in time. It was a ground ball to third that Castellon blocked. He threw to first base. They got the out, but then the throw from Coates to home after Abernathy with another heads-up play was not in time.
That's a game-changing base-running play because this is a heck of a play from Castellon. And the second Abernathy knew Castellon was going to go to first, you could see it right in that final corner of the screen on the replay. He immediately sprinted home. No hesitation or he would have been late. Credit to Castellon for making the play regardless.
Pitch to Brown is a curveball, strike number 1.
That's just a tough one to swallow for Harwich because you did everything right. You brought the infield in, you knocked it down, you got the out at first.
0-1 is left downstairs. Heads up base running from Abernathy. He kind of made that whole run happen. I mean, a chopper up the middle, shallow center field. The ball died in center, so he took second. Then he advanced to third on a ground out. 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Nice curveball. And then obviously came home to score.
I mean, both of the plays, whether he extended his single into a double or going home. It's heads-up base running, but it's also speed kills. I mean, a lot of guys just can't do that. Abernathy can.
1-2. High drive, center field. Kirikoff back on the track at the wall. He stops and he makes the grab to retire the side. So a long fly out to center field as the ball continues to travel on this Tuesday evening in Harwich. Brewster gets one back. It's 3-1 Whitecaps as we head to the bottom of the third on Cape League TV.
You can purchase tickets from the players and volunteers as they come through the stands during the game.
It's the Mariners and the Whitecaps here as we go to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Brewster over Harwich. It's the fourth meeting between these two sides so far this summer, and it's safe to say the first three went in Brewster's favor. The first one, Harwich won 2-1, but the last one, an 8-0 July 8th win for the Whitecaps, sprinkle in a July 4th 13-0 Brewster win as well. That last game, 8-0, was domination.
Yeah, Garcia, just an excellent start for the Whitecaps, and I think Brewster is the first team all season. You see those 8 hits against the Harwich starter Riley Goodman to get to Goodman the way they did. He only struck out one Whitecap. He's been one of the best punch-out guys on Cape Cod this summer.
We start the bottom of the third. Santos Olsen, the lefty on the hill, deals to the righty Jackson. Fastball ripped in the air, left field, hooking, foul. Just barely. Jackson tried to jump on the first pitch. It's 0-1 now. 3-1. Brewster leads it over Harwich. Jackson rounded first base on that one, so he has to take the long trot all the way back home.
That one missed by just a couple feet. And I think you said it right. It was just hooking. There was a little bit of spin on that ball. It started out fair. I bet it was fair 90% of the journey down the line. Unlucky for Harwich and Jackson, just strike one.
He already has 2 doubles with the Mariners. 0-1. Hard hit to left field. That gets in for a base hit. A single this time for Jackson. So a leadoff man aboard for the Mariners. And they're in business here in the bottom of the third.
The first baseman, number 25.
I think Harwich is going to be all right tonight because just looking at this lineup, Mariners already have 6 hits where maybe you stub your toe a little bit and wonder why they're trailing by 2 to a team that has just half of the Mariner hits. But I like the confidence at the plate against a really talented starter in Santos Olsen. Harwich hitters are going up swinging at the first couple pitches, ready to do some damage.
Pitch to Coates. Fastball misses inside. 1-0 now to Coates, who struck out back in the first. One of 3 strikeouts for Sebastian Santos Olsen, the Brewster starter. With that single, Jax is now 7 for 19 to start his Mariner career. 1-0. Upstairs with a fastball. It's 2-0 now on Coates.
How about this? Santos Olsen on the Cape has pitched 7 2/3 innings coming into the start. He's only given up 5 hits. Now into the third inning, he's given up 6 Harwich hits alone.
Mariners have been knocking him around. 2-0 is hit high in the air, deep to left center field. Torres back to center fielder, and he makes the grab about 10 steps in front of the track. Still looking out for that first Coates homer of the summer. Came close there, but no cigar, and there's one gone.
Just needs something that is at an angle where it can hang up in the air, but it obviously has to have some juice behind it. We've seen a lot of balls, the Perini spectacular catch. That looked like a routine out back in the second inning. and it took him all the way back to a jumping catch at the wall.
There's the righty Kurland. Pitch home. In the dirt. Kurland backs out of the way. It's now 1-0 on Kurland, who doubled and scored back in the second. Wind is breezing at Whitehouse. 1-0. Curveball sinks in for strike number 1. Counts even as the American flag out in right center field is gusting with some oomph over there. Windy, windy evening on an overcast, cloudy night. 1-1. Ground ball, foul down the third baseline. It's 1-2.
And you see wind like this in certain spots throughout the big leagues. Wrigley Field, the wind plays a really big impact. And when it's blowing out, games are projected to score more runs, and it can truly have a big impact. I'd say tonight is the windiest day we've seen on Cape Cod this summer.
1-2. Line drive to left, base hit for Kurland, his second knock of the evening. Jaxa up to second. So now 2 on for the Mariners here in the bottom of the third. They trail 3-1.
Kurland and Castillo, and they've both gotten on in their first 2 at-bats. 7 hits for Harwich. See if the Mariners can cash in, maybe tie this game up in the third, do some damage.
From Vanderbilt, the left fielder.
Feels like they're getting robbed a little bit, and that's why there's those arguments out there where people say batting average doesn't matter anymore. Because if it's just singles, that doesn't hold nearly the weight as one of those 2-run Brewster hits, that homer that came back in the second.
Well, Nico Brini will certainly like to say batting average matters. .353 this past collegiate season at Wofford. Pitch home. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Owen Jenkins. It's 0-1 on the lefty hitting left fielder who's already made 2 spectacular plays tonight. First game this summer as a Mariner. Last season with Harwich, hit .233, a homer, and 14 RBIs in 32 games. 0-1. Swing and a miss, a curveball downstairs. Back to that windy thing that we were talking about. This is the night that I would want to hit BP.
Right.
Maybe a slight chance one squeaks out of here. Out of here by the infield, I mean. Wall is way too far. 0-2. Line drive to right field, sinking, but Delano Lear comes in and he makes the grab. Both runners stay put at first and second. So a hard hit ball off Brini's bat. Second time tonight he's lined out. 1 to left, now this one to right, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball hard early in his debut of 2026.
From Mississippi State.
And it feels like that whole wooden bat curse or learning curve that we talked about at the start of the summer just hasn't really applied to Jacksaw and now Brini, because they've come in and immediately hit the ball hard. Some bad luck for Brini early on tonight.
There's the righty Sean James. Long balls and a pitch home. Curveball in the dirt, gets by Jenkins momentarily, and Kurland is in no man's land between first and second, but they botched the pickle. Brewster had him hung up. Jackson to third base, and Kurland heads up, runs over to second, and nobody was covering.
Well, heads-up play by both of the Mariner base runners. Jack's the more intelligent move, where he knew Kurland couldn't go back to first when this throw goes to first. The throw should have gone to second, and you can get both the runners out. But Jackson realized, I got to go in order to free up the bag for Kurland, and it works to perfection for Harwich.
1-0 to James. Down in the dirt. This time it's blocked, no doubt, by Jenkins. Big spot here for Sean James in the Mariner lineup. He comes in just a .216 hitter. Struck out back in the second inning. Fans clap their hands together. 2-0. Downstairs. Another off-speed that missed, and it's 3-0. Fans are happy with a walk here from James. It would load the bases for the second time tonight for the Mariners. Santos Olsen comes set. Deep breath. Here's the pitch. Called a strike at the last second. Seemed like Joseph Giacchio was thinking about that one, the home plate umpire. But he throws up the finger. So now 3-1, 2 outs, bottom 3. Runners off second and third for Harwich. Here's the offering. Line drive to right field. That's sinking, and it's caught by the right fielder, Dalam Alir. He caught it at the shoestrings. How did he make that grab? I thought there was no chance. He brings it off the grass. It was a late call from Silvio Martinez, the first base umpire. And it seemed like that one might have bounced after getting a second look from the monitor in front of us. So a potential 2 RBI single taken off the board off the bat of Sean James. And we head to the fourth. 3-1 Whitecaps after Harwich Strand, second and third. We'll be right back on Cape League TV.
Online with live
Brewster leads Harwich 3-1, now entering the top of the fourth. And the righty out of Maine, Tommy Martin, making his first appearance on Cape Cod this summer for the Mariners, has gone 3 hit, 3-run innings. With Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. Start of the fourth brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. Proud to recognize our hometown heroes throughout the Cape. If you are active duty military, a veteran, police, fire, or EMT personnel, you are eligible for a discount. Here's Eddie Yaman at LSU, rising senior, hitting .281 on Cape Cod, 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. That's the lone punch-out from the righty Martin. First pitch, swing and a miss. That was the slider from Tommy Martin. 0-1. Milo, what have you seen from Tommy in his inaugural start this summer?
He's been going to that curveball a whole bunch, I think. I mean, the scouting report said he doesn't throw it too much, but tonight he's been going to that 12-6.
0-1. That's the slider again. Evens the count at 1-1. The changeup, the slider, and the curve, but specifically the curve and the slider, because the slider's so good, uses that one 20% of the time. They do look similar at times, similar velocities. Ball and a strike on the first baseman, Yaman. Here's the pitch. That's on the inside corner, called a strike. And here we go. Ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, top of the fourth. Brewster is getting out hit by Harwich 7-3, yet they have a 2-run advantage in the 3-1 game. 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. James could have to throw the drop third strike down to first. He does. And both punch-outs today from Tommy Martin. Eddie Yaman has been the victim. 1 down to kick off the
from
fourth.
Florida, the designated
That's a
hitter,
nasty
number
curveball there
26,
from
Cash
Martin.
Strayer.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of his fellow Maine product, Jason Krieger. Not the most overpowering stuff, but a crafty guy on the hill. Krieger, of course, had so much success with the Mariners earlier in the season. Now he's off to the Yankees. But Tommy Martin has that crafty type build as well.
Seen a lot of Maine pitchers come through Harwich over the years. Cash Strayer gets into a first pitch. Line drive foul down the right field line. Strayer is 1 for 1, had that big 2-run home run to the pole side. Lefty hitter took it out to right field. And he's been the difference in this one so far. Tommy Martin trying to get the better of Strayer the second time around here in the fourth. 0-1 comes home. It's in the dirt. Ball and a strike on the DH out of the University of Florida. Strayer hitting .275, now 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Pair of doubles as well. He's had a heck of a summer. The 1-1 skips off of home plate. That's ball 2. good crowd tonight. A lot of people coming out on a dark day. Maybe not the best beach day. It was hot, but really windy. The 2-1. That's just a little bit inside with the slider. And Martin behind 3-1. But this place is packed, and I'm not a huge fan, and you can call me kind of a sissy for this, of being outside when it's really windy. It's just loud. 3-1. That's taken for a strike right on the top of the zone. It goes full with Strayer. But I guess that's not the case. I'm in the minority here in Harwich because
I wasn't expecting the first reason to be loud.
It's just a little overwhelming. The payoff pitch. Softly hit, infield fly, third base side. Castellon is there. And 2 up, 2 down. A good start to the 4th inning for Tommy Martin. He's going to bring up the catcher, Owen Jenkins. Yeah, I mean, I definitely sound so soft saying that. I swear I'm not like that. It's maybe it's the golfer in me. You never want to have a super windy day like this because you can't control your ball.
You
2
can
down.
Control your ball? I can't control my ball.
When I'm really on.
No win.
Jenkins takes a pitch up high. That's a ball. 1-0. I think the difference when you look at records in the Cape League and just the lineups we've seen now into the 25th game of the summer, Brewster just has a top-to-bottom lineup. 1-0, Jenkins takes. It's now 2-0. I mean, Strayer, who's hitting 6th tonight, who just popped out, he's an all-star. Then you go Jenkins, who's a rotating catcher with Jacob Lee. Mind you, Lee out of the lineup tonight leads the Cape League with 5 home runs. He's an all-star as well. 2-0 is taken for a strike. But your other catcher, who's up right now, Jenkins, 250 hitter, 6 runs batted in, leads the team with 5 doubles. 2-1. Cut on, ground ball to third. Castellon puts his body behind it, pops up, and makes the play. A 1-2-3 4th inning for Tommy Martin. His second 1-2-3 inning tonight. We've played 3.5. The Mariners trail 3-1. We'll be back in the home half of the 4th. You're watching Cape League TV.
No trip to Whitehouse Field would be complete.
Harwich trails Brewster 3-1. We've played 3.5. Time for the Mariners to hit in the bottom of the 4th. But Harwich has left 7 runners on base on 7 hits through the first 3 innings offensively. Good for just 1 run. And Brewster, because all the traffic on the bases, they're going to go to the bullpen here in the 4th. It's Gaines Estridge coming out of the pen for the Whitecaps. 6'2" rising senior out of Air Force is making his Cape League debut right here in Harwich. It's 9-1-2 coming up for the M's. Kirikoff, Larson, and Castellon. Estridge appeared 16 times at school with a 7.79 at Air Force. And a right-on-right matchup with Micah Kirikoff, who's 1 for 1 to get things going. Estridge from the belt comes home with the first pitch. That's a fastball, called a strike on the outside corner. That fastball has some life. Came in at 94. Estridge's fastball, cut fastball, changeup, slider, and an occasional curveball. 0-1. That's taken for a strike. Another 94-mile-an-hour heater. That one was right down the middle. Kirikoff in a 0-2 hole.
He really comes over the top, Estridge. He's kind of got his hand over his head when he releases the ball, it seems.
0-2 pitch. Fouled off, first base side, out of play. Estridge from Fort Worth, Texas. That's where TCU's campus is, a good baseball school in the Big 12. See a lot of Horned Frogs playing out here in the Cape League. Saw a few of them on Sunday. Seems like a lot of teams go to certain Cape League teams, as in colleges feed to Cape League teams, and YD is the team that's gathered all the TCU guys. The 0-1 is punched into the ground foul down the first base line, and Kirikoff staying alive here, still down 0-2. Estridge just seems like the all-American man. Air Force Academy, Texas kid, first name's Gaines, pretty cool name. Estridge trying to put Kirikoff away. 2-strike pitch again, looping, breaking ball. First look at the curve, misses high. It's now 1-2.
This is where Kirikoff goes to work. Worked a nice at-bat in the second, ended with a single. They're trying to go back to work and get his way on base again.
1-2. Outside and away. That was the fastball. Evens the count. A good battle here. Kirikoff had his first hit in 2 weeks of Cape League action, his first time up in the second inning. Mariners left the bases loaded in the second inning. 2-2. Just caught a piece of that one. Kind of a half check swing from Kirikoff, but he stays alive on a good fastball away. This next pitch of this at-bat between Kirikoff and Estridge will be the 7th pitch of the AB. 9-hole hitter making the new reliever work. 2-2. Down low, the count goes full. What was once 0-2 for multiple pitches and foul balls from Kirikoff battling now goes full on the Harwich center fielder. Can Micah get on here after this at-bat? Here comes the payoff. Swung on, ripped foul. Kirikoff was so early on that slider.
I mean, multiple times now it seems like Kirikoff has worked double-digit at-bats in terms of pitch count, and he's just trying his absolute all to get on here to start the inning for the M's.
This will be the 10th pitch of this at-bat. Another 3-2. Check swing outside, ball 4. Kirikoff aboard for the second time in that many tries. And Harwich, trailing by 2, has the leadoff man on in the 4th inning.
Yeah, really good start to this game for Kirikoff. That single up the middle, little chopper, and then by far the best at-bat of the evening so far from either side.
Lineup turns over. Here's Larson. Singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. See if the Mariners can get something going. They've had hits in every inning. Guys on base, can they get them in? Right on left matchup. Estridge from the stretch. Kirikoff goes. Pitch taken inside. Ball 1. Throw down to second on 1 hop. Not in time, but boy, was that close. Micah steals his 7th base of the summer, and now a man in scoring position with nobody out in the 4th inning for Harwich.
Yeah, 3rd stolen bag of the night for the Mariners, and Kirikoff, it was close, but a head-first slide beat the throw.
Athletic move from the catcher Jenkins to catch a pitch inside and still put the throw on target. Just not in time. Counts 1-0 on Larson. Estridge comes home. That's taken. Fastball, called a strike at the belt. 1-1. Harwich in their last 10, 6 wins, 4 losses. Brewster comes in, maybe playing the best baseball on Cape Cod. They've won 7 of their last 10. 1-1. Larson skies it foul over the backstop, and he's now down 1-2.
If Kirikoff can have this presence in the 9 spot for the Mariners, that changes the whole outlook of the lineup.
I mean, on in both tries tonight, a 118 hitter. The issue has just been getting him on base because he's playing nearly every day because of how well he plays defense in center field. 2-strike pitch. Larson takes high. It's now 2-2. And even better when you can set the table and get on and run the way he has. Larson, who hits first, Castellon, who's on deck, and Smolinski, who hits third. They're 3 all-stars at 1, 2, and 3 in the Harwich lineup. There's plenty of guys that can bring him in. He's off a second with nobody out. Here comes the 2-2 to Larson. Check swing. Did he catch a foul? I think he did. The count stays 2-2.
Yeah, it looked like that barely caught the nub of Larson's bat.
Estridge will get a new ball from the home plate umpire, Joe Giascio. Mariners have had guys on every inning. But maybe the best chance here. Man in scoring position with nobody out to kick off the home half of the 4th. Top of the order now up, 2-2. Larson swings and misses at a high fastball. That's strike 3. A big bounce back out for Estridge out of the pen. His first out comes on the punch out. Larson down on strikes.
Yeah, we've seen Larson catch up to that pitch before. High fastball right on by. But I think because of the tunneling of the different pitches from Estridge with the curveball, Larson just a tick too late on that one.
That's the second time tonight where the Mariners have had a man at second to start the inning. And the first out does not get him over to third base. Castellon up in a right-on-right matchup. First offering. Castellon shows bunt. Fastball clips the top part of the zone. That's strike 1. Castellon's 1 for 1 tonight. Singled in the first to left. Stole a base. And then walked his last time up in the second inning. His third at-bat in the 4th inning. Harwich only has 1 run to show for all these base runners. 0-1. Castellon takes another strike. That one on the inside corner. Back-to-back fastballs from Gaines Estridge. Gives him some count leverage here against the Harwich third baseman, Nate Castellon. Big hole on the right side of the infield. 0-2. Swing and a blooper into shallow center. Coming from short is Laskovsky. He makes the ear-high catch, 2 down. So it's all up to Ty Smolinski after the Kirikov leadoff walk and then stolen base with nobody out. Quickly 2 outs. And Ty Smolinski, who's 1 for 2 so far tonight, will dig into the left side.
Yeah, off the inside of the bat there from Castellon. Off the bat, maybe had a chance. I thought maybe of blooping into center field, but nice job by Laskovsky to track back.
Credit to Estridge, a long at-bat. It was a 10-pitch AB to put Kirikov on, but he's really strapped in. His last task is Smolinski. First pitch. Ty takes a heater right down the heart of the plate. That's called strike 1. Smolinski leads this team in batting average. Home runs, runs batted in, doubles, and runs scored. I think there's a reason he's an all-star. Can he come through with a man on second and 2 outs? The 0-1, Kirikov goes. Here comes the throw down to third. That's not in time. Micah steals second and third in the same inning. And he takes 90 feet. That might not be too significant, but we'll see now with 2 outs and a 1-1 count on Smolinski.
The only run of the day for the Mariners has come on a wild pitch. So another one of those, and Kirikov could very well be home.
Or a Smolinski knock with 2 outs. 1-1. Ty cracks one. Dead center field. Torres, it's right at him. Harwich has had some bad luck tonight. That's the 4th consecutive inning where the Mariners have stranded at least 1 in scoring position. Mariners trail the Whitecaps 3-1. We've played 4 at Whitehouse Field. We'll be right back on Cape League TV. A lot of hits tonight in the early innings for Harwich, but not much to show for it. Brewster leads 3-1. It's the start of the fifth inning on Cape League TV. The Mariners starter making his first appearance in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Tommy Martin, out of Maine, is climbing the hill again. Coming out for the fifth inning. He's just surrendered 3 hits, notably the 2-run homer back in the second from Cash Strayer of the Whitecaps. But he's got 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Caps here. Torres, Delamalier, and Abernathy. Right on left matchup with Michael Torres, the center fielder. He's 1 for 1 with a double. First pitch, hit into left center field. That's a base hit for Torres. Brini quickly on it, limits it to a single. Torres wastes no time. He's quickly 2 for 2 with a double and now a single in the fifth.
Yeah, just first pitch, first swinging off of Torres' bat. He's having himself a night so far.
So the 9-hitter Delamalier will step in for a right-on-right matchup with Martin. And it's that same trend, Milo. The bottom of the order just seems to give the same production as the top for Brewster. They go 1 through 9. Delamalier waves and misses at a first-pitch breaking ball. It's 0-1. Jamie Shevchek is the skipper for the Whitecaps. Has done a great job these last couple of summers. One of the more open and honest guys out here. Not afraid to tell you how he feels. Check on the runner at first. A close play, but Torres back with a dive. Torres has stolen 4 bags in 7 tries. Not the best clip, but we've seen him play a strong center field defensively. We know that Michael Torres has speed.
That's for sure.
Another check on him. That one almost went in the dugout. A nice catch from Coates. Count still 0-1 on the 9-hole hitter Delamalier. Delamalier out of Florida State. He was hitting second in this lineup when we last saw the Whitecaps. He's all the way down to 9. 0-1. Up high. Ball and a strike. Delamalier did not play the last time out against Falmouth, and then he pinch ran in the 9th inning, ended up scoring a run. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses away. It's now 2-1. That was a tie against the Commodores. Yeah. Brewster has 2 of those this summer. Milo, I don't know about you, but I'm quite thankful the Mariners have not tied a game.
Love it. I think it's awesome.
Another check on Torres. Same result. He's back with a dive. And after back-to-back balls to Delamalier, he's now ahead, waiting for the 2-1 out of Tommy Martin.
Mariners came close a few nights ago, but thankfully to Hotchkiss, a walk-off hit.
2-1, swing and a miss. Another good breaking ball from Martin in this at-bat. Evens the count at 2-2. 1 on, nobody out. Brewster a 2-run lead here in the 5th inning. Brewster has had Harwich's numbers the last 2 meetings. 2-2. That's down and away. The count goes full on Delamalier. Abernathy and the top of the Brewster lineup waiting for an opportunity with maybe runners on here in the 5th inning. Martin set. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nothing but off-speed pitches in that entire at-bat from Tommy Martin. He strikes out Delamalier, Martin's 3rd punch-out of his start. And the first out of the 5th inning is a big one.
From Tennessee,
Martin is quietly pitching very well tonight. I know he has that 3 runs allowed, and he's been knocked around a little bit, 4 hits allowed. But, I mean, he's only distributed 1 walk so far, and he's got 3 strikeouts.
Here's the top of the order in Abernathy. First pitch, runner goes from first. Pitch taken inside. A good throw from James. He got him. Sean James had to turn his body all the way around to even catch the pitch. It was so far inside, but shot it out of a cannon on a line to the tagging Smolinski at short. That's the 2nd out of the 5th.
Sean James has shown off his arm a few times this season, and that was just a bullet.
1-0. Abernathy takes. It's now 2-0. If Harwich can get out of this, you face the minimum after surrendering a leadoff hit to Torres. Doesn't get much closer than that. Harwich gets the call this time around. There was one earlier in this game that came back in the 3rd. This one's skied down the right field line. Larson a long chase, but he grabs it. And Martin faces the minimum in the 5th. He's faced the minimum the last 2 innings he's been out on the hill. And 5 innings of 3-run baseball. A pretty good first start for Tommy Martin in Harwich. The offense has work to do when we come back. It's 3-1 Brewster on Cape League TV.
And will run through the end.
Just the bottom of the 5th inning. Brewster leads Harwich 3-1. But the Whitecaps go to the bullpen for the second time tonight. It's the lefty out of Air Force, Sam Hentges. 6'2" lefty. Has a fastball, a cut fastball, and a slider. Coming off a season at Air Force where he appeared all 19 times out of the bullpen. The 6.66 earned run average, had 2 saves, 16 walks to 30 strikeouts. Just over 24 innings pitched for the lefty. It's Mariner Trivia time, bottom of the 5th inning. The question of the day, tweet at us, #TridentTrivia, is who is the most recent former Harwich Mariner to win a Major League Baseball Cy Young Award? Get back to you in the 7th inning with the answer to that one. With Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. Here we go, bottom of the 5th. Harwich down by 2 to the second place Brewster Whitecaps, just 1 game ahead of Harwich in the East Division standings. Harwich at 15-9 with no ties, but Brewster at 15-7 with a pair of ties. And the Mariners have 4, 5, and 6 due up. Here's Braden Jacksaw, the DH tonight. Left on right matchup. First offering, Jacksaw takes high and away. Ball 1. Jacksaw singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Mariners have left a guy on, at least one in every inning tonight, trying to cash in on hits and base runners. 1-0. Jacksaw takes one that almost skipped and hit him, but it's now 2-0 on back-to-back somewhat wild releases from the lefty Hentges. Gaines Estridge was the last Air Force guy out of the bullpen in the 4th for Brewster. He went a scoreless inning, surrendering just 1 walk.
Yeah, quick go to the bullpen after Estridge in just his 1 inning. It's pretty smooth.
Some issues getting the pitch here for Hentges on the hill. He's still looking at his right wrist, the pitch comm system. Jacksaw awaits the 2-0. Looks like he's ready now. Here it comes. Swing and a bouncing ball to first. One hopped by Yaman, and he almost trips on his way to the bag, but he made the play for the first out of the Harwich 5th.
Yeah, Yaman almost fell into that ball. Hard hit off of Jackson's bat. Feels like everything he hits is hard. But inside out swing, right into Yaman, made a nice play.
Brings up the first baseman, Quentin Coates. Coates 0 for 2, his first game back. He's been out the last 4 games for the Mariners. Named as another all-star for Harwich. coming up this weekend right here at Whitehouse Field. Left on right matchup. First pitch to Coates. Coates fouls it off straight back. He's down 0-1. Coates' all-star campaign has consisted of a .273 batting average, 4 runs batted in, 4 doubles. And he's been hot coming into the all-star break this weekend. Slow start for Coates, but boy has he turned it around. 0-1. Inside, that hit him. Coates in some serious pain and still grimacing right around home plate. He's going to take first base with 1 out. We're starting to see from Hentges he might just not have full control right now in these first couple of batters coming out of the pen. Saw 2 wild ones in the Jacksaw at bat. Now he dings Coates, but the Mariners will take the base runner. Coates looks to be okay, and the 2-for-2 Cade Curlin's going to dig in.
Yeah, that can't feel too good. Off the back of his leg. Hopefully he got him in the calf area, but look at him. Sprint down to first.
First pitch to Curlin. Cade takes outside, 1-0. Hentges toes the rubber. 1 on with 1 out. Harwich down by 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4th meeting of the summer between the Whitecaps and the Mariners. The 1-0 is also up and away. Curlin to head, 2 balls and no strikes. Cade singled and scored in the 2nd inning. He doubled and scored in the 2nd. He singled and was left in scoring position in the 3rd. 3-for-3 start would not be bad in just 5 innings. 2-0. Curlin swings and misses. High fastball, hit 95 on the gun, and it's now 2-1 on the Harwich second baseman. And just looks in, working from the stretch. Coates not a huge speed threat at first base. 2-1 pitch. Curlin fouls one off. That was probably ball 3 up high. And the count's now 2-2.
Curlin kind of has the same mentality and skill set as like a Colin Larson sort of at the top of the Mariner lineup. Both similar body build, can make a lot of contact and battle every time they're up there.
Curlin has a lot of pop from that right side. He hits lefty pitching well. 2-2. It gets inside all the way to the backstop. Coates is already at second base, and the count goes full. The Mariners have a man in scoring position with 1 out.
Taking advantage, Coates has seemed to shake off that hit by pitch on the left calf. All good to go.
Just the 10th pitch from Hentges, and I'd say 4 of them have been wild. 1 hit Coates. Here comes the payoff to Curlin. Up high, ball 4. Harwich has him on first and second with 1 out for the newest Mariner, Nico Brini, coming up in the 5th.
Really good at bat from Cade Curlin. Now has not been retired so far tonight through 3 at bats. First 2 times up for Brini, a couple of lineouts. Going to get one to drop now.
First and second, just 1 out. Brini the batter, a left-on-left matchup. Brini's first game of the summer in Harwich. First pitch, cut on, lined, foul into the Harwich bullpen. Hentges gets ahead of Brini here. Brini hitting 7th tonight, playing left for the Mariners. He was here in Harwich and was a catalyst of a really good summer. The Mariners were eliminated in the East Division Championship Series to YD in the postseason. 0-1. Brini takes high, ball and a strike. Nico was the everyday leadoff hitter come the postseason and the end of the season. One of those guys that's such a leader and a strong defender where he's hard to keep out of the lineup, but he brought it with the bat at school at Wofford this year. .353 hitter. 1-1. Cut on, jam shot, softly hit. Is it going to fall? No. Caught out of the air by the third baseman, Pantier. 2 down in the Mariner 5th.
Softly looped there. And yeah, I was with you. I thought there was a slight chance at it falling. That would have been interesting on the base pass because the runner seemed to have held up. So a whole hullabaloo would have ensued.
From Mississippi State, the catcher.
A big spot here again for Sean James. James came up with Kurland in scoring position in the second. He also came up with 2 on in the third inning. And now he has 2 on in the fifth inning. He's 0 for 2. First pitch, James takes a fastball on the inside corner. That's strike 1. James struck out and flown out. Fly out to the right fielder, Delamalier, with 2 on in the third. A questionable catch from our replays up here. It looked like he did not catch that ball before it hit the ground. Can James get it back? 0-1. Swung on, chopped foul into the plate. It's quickly 0-2. We've seen this strategy multiple times from a lot of different Cape League teams and managers where they go to the bullpen early and often against Harwich. And it's worked so far tonight.
Yeah, YD goes to the bullpen more than anyone. They went to the bullpen early last game, but that didn't work.
That was rare to see. Kurland at first, Coates at second. Harwich down by 2 with 2 outs in the fifth. 0-2 to James. Swung on, he fights it foul. And Sean James, the catcher out of Mississippi State, staying alive here. Still down 0-2. Past 8 o'clock here, Tuesday night in Harwich, a packed house. Neighboring town in Brewster, an East Division rival, if you will. Harwich and Brewster have been neck and neck in the standings all summer long. Brewster 2-1 for record against the M's. They've won the last 2. 2-strike pitch to James. In the dirt, another good block from Jenkins behind the dish. Runner stays still, ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, saved 2 runners in scoring position right there.
Middle innings of this one. Mariners just continue to have runners on. Can James come through? 1-2. Swing and a pop fly, first base side. Yaman running after it. Coming over from second is Abernathy. And the right fielder, Delamalier, ends up making the catch. So the Mariners leave 2 on again. That's a combination of 10 runners left on base. We've only played 5 innings. Brewster leads 3-1 in Harwich. We'll be right back on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod's hometown heroes.
Top of the 6th, Brewster leads Harwich 3-1 right here at Whitehouse Field. And after 5 innings of 3-run baseball from Tommy Martin in his first start here for the Mariners on Cape Cod, Harwich has made the call to the bullpen. They've brought in the righty out of Oregon, Luke Morgan. Before we get going in the 6th inning, just a reminder that Netting Pros and Stadionic is the official netting and facility solutions partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. When it comes to netting and building iconic sports facilities, it's Netting Pros, Stadionic, making sports facilities iconic. I'm Luke Brenneman with Milo Hoffman. It's been a low-scoring bout so far through the middle innings, but 7 hits for Harwich, just 4 for Brewster, yet the Whitecaps lead by 2. This is Morgan's second appearance on Cape Cod. He pitched earlier last week against Katuitt. That was 1 inning out of the bullpen. It was scoreless. Here's Laskowski. First pitch. Jamie takes inside. That's a strike on the corner. 0-1. Morgan pitched a lot for the Oregon Ducks. A nice year out of the Big Ten. Made the tournament. Made a little bit of a run as well. Appeared 23 times. 5.18 ERA. The 0-1 is another fastball. This one's down low. Ball and a strike on the shortstop Laskowski. Laskowski, an all-star this season. Leads the Whitecaps in hits. A .325 hitter, 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. He's also scored the most runs out of any Whitecap, 19 of them. 1-1 count, top of the 6th. Here comes the pitch. That's way inside, all the way to the backstop. Now 2-1. Seen 3 consecutive fastballs in this at-bat. Morgan's fastball comes in around 93. Pairs it up with a changeup and a curveball. Here comes the 2-1. Swing, a check swing, appeal to third. He did not go. That's Joe Cruz over there. Looked like he was pretty close to pulling the trigger there, but Morgan and the Mariners don't get the call. It's now 3-1 in Laskowski's favor.
Yeah, it looked close from up here. I thought he went around.
3-1. Swung on, bouncing ball to first baseman Coates. He leaps up and touches on the base for the first out. A good pitch from Morgan, trailing Laskowski 3-1, warrants the softly hit ground out to first, and that's the opening out of the 6th inning. Holden Pantier will dig in.
I think if you were to look at Morgan's glove, you could guess what school he goes to. I say it every time, the Oregon Ducks love to represent their program, and the first time Morgan pitched this summer, he pitched to Braden Jackson, the catcher for the Mariners, who goes to Oregon.
First pitch to Pantier, a swing and a miss, strike 1. That's Elliott Hill, the president and CEO of Nike, big Oregon guy. So he's always hooking them up with all the gear. We know Jack Saw, the catcher. And they just have such a staple of a colorway. The yellow and green, the duck as the mascot. 0-1 pitch, taken at the knees, a beauty. That was the changeup from Morgan, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 on Pantier.
Yeah, Beaverton, Oregon, is where the Nike headquarters are. It all makes sense.
2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Morgan, 2 quick outs. His first punch out puts away Pantier in the 6th, and there's nobody on for Blaine Brown. That was a dominant at-bat, just 3 pitches from Morgan.
Blaine Brown.
He looks confident on the Cape. Definitely the newest arm in this Mariner bullpen. Tommy Martin, who started the game, got here later than Morgan, but Morgan only came out of the bullpen for Oregon. Brown digs in and hacks away at a first pitch breaking ball. No luck on the swing and miss. It's 0-1. Still windy. Pushing directly out to right field right now. Pole hitter from the left side, Brown, trying to find a fastball. The 0-1 is taken. A breaking ball for a strike at the knees. This is a smooth inning from Morgan. Can he put away Brown? Two-strike pitch. Broken bat, flare towards short, and it dunks into left center field. That is some bad luck for Morgan. Brown just muscles one in there for a 2-out base hit. He's on for the second time tonight.
At bat completely shadowed. First baseman Quentin Coates goes over to pick up the barrel about 10 feet away from the first base bag. But listen, you always trade a bat for a hit. And Brown will happily reach first.
So Brown's on, and Eddie Yaman, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, both came against the starter Martin, is happy that his day is done. Right-on-right matchup with the new Mariner reliever Morgan with 1 on and 2 down. Brewster up 3-1, top of the 6th. First pitch. Breaking ball gets past Sean James up high, and Brown is practically walking to second base. And what's the need to hustle if you don't have to? I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with that, but
Quentin Coates would disagree with that. He got hit by a pitch and sprinted full force over to first.
all these guys have different play styles. Brown still kind of just lounging it in scoring position at second. 1-0 count on the hitter, Eddie Yaman. Morgan trying to lock back in. 1-0. Swing and a miss. That's a beautiful breaking ball that he has. It's now 1-1. Surprised to see Yaman have difficulty at the plate in his first 2 appearances with strikeouts. This guy's a contact hitter and a good one. 1-1, taken down the middle. Called strike 2. Morgan ahead. Brewster has not scored since the 3rd inning. Mariners trying to get him off the bases here and get back to work, trailing by 2 in the 6th. 1-2 pitch. Skied foul, first base side. And Yaman stays alive for another one. Take a look at Nate Castellone over there.
Curlin's talking to Brown over at second.
2 SEC guys, Brown out of Tennessee, Curland from Florida, now he's going to LSU. Same with the guy at the plate right now, Yaman, a Tiger. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, a nice block from James, and the count's 2-2. This would feel like a backbreaker, a 2-out hit and Brown scoring to increase the advantage to 3 for the Whitecaps. Yaman hits 5th, guy who thrives in these 2-out chances. Feels like Luke Morgan out of the Harwich bullpen has pitched a good inning. That broken bat hit to Brown and then the wild pitch. 2-2 inside. The count goes full on Yaman.
This inning seemed like it was going to go by quick. Ground out to first off of Laskovsky's bat, a strikeout of Pantier. And then a lucky broken bat single.
Cash Strayer's on deck if Yaman can get on and extend the 6th inning. Strayer has a home run already tonight. Here comes the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Morgan lost to Yaman. And there's Whitecaps at first and second with 2 outs for the All-Star, Cash Strayer, coming up.
The man who already has a home run tonight and a 2-run
From
shot
Florida,
back in
the
the second.
hitter,
So this is
number
a dangerous
26,
moment.
Cash
You just look back to
Strayer.
those 2 quick outs from Morgan, the 3-pitch strikeout on Pantier, and he was ahead of Blaine Brown 0-2 before just a sawed-off, clean, broken bat jam shot that got down for a hit and a little bit of trouble in the 6th. Strayer digs in. First pitch. Check swing. It's called a strike regardless. Good opening pitch from Morgan. He's ahead 0-1. Strayer hitting .275, now up to 9 runs batted in on the summer. Big Ten on SEC matchup. Oregon deck comes home to the Gator. 0-1 inside with the heat. It's 1-1. Starting to notice that fastball might be the pitch that Morgan's having trouble controlling. We've seen a lot of his strikes in this inning come from the breaking balls. Yanked that fastball inside on the lefty. The 1-1. Sawed off foul the other direction. And Morgan gets ahead 1-2. Here we go. A chance to put him away. The Mariners have been looking for a spark all night. The bats have been there. The pitching has kept them in this game. But there's no way you can win when you're trailing in the 6th inning by playing defense. 2 on with 2 out for the Whitecaps. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Strayer. Morgan fires away in the dirt, 2-2.
That time it was an off-speed that he lost control of. But I think it's the right decision. We haven't seen Hunter Dilworth or Engler out of the dugout all evening long. I think if he ends up losing this hitter, we'll definitely see at least Dilworth.
Nobody's warming up in the pen. Here's the 2-2. That's down and in. It's now 3-2. The runners will get a head start here with 2 outs and a full count on the lefty hitter Strayer. Yaman off of first, Brown off of second. Brewster leads the Mariners 3-1. One in the gap could score 2. Morgan trying to slam the door. The 3-2 popped up left side, drifting foul. Castellón can't get there in time. There will be another payoff pitch.
Castellón loses his hat every time he runs. Every single time he's given full effort.
This next pitch will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. A long battle, 2 quick outs from Morgan. And then Brown had a hit. Yaman walked in a full count. And another one here to the DH out of Florida, Strayer. The pause. And the pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 4. Cash Strayer. A 7-pitch at-bat results in the 2nd consecutive walk with 2 outs from the righty Morgan. And the bases are loaded for Brewster here in the 6th inning. And Owen Jenkins, the catcher, gets a chance at maybe blowing this game open here in the 6th.
There goes Dilworth on cue. First mound visit of the evening, just trying to settle down his pitcher Morgan.
For sales and rentals
After
of
2 quick
Caterpillar
outs, now
machinery,
bases loaded.
Generators and marine engines. Visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud
Morgan up to
support the Cape Cod
25
Baseball League
pitches
and
in this
fans
inning
all
alone
summer
already.
long.
The entire infield
The
is
Harwich
going to
Mariners
talk
would
about
like
some
to thank our
strategy
local
here
team
with
sponsors,
the bases
Hot
loaded
Stone
and 2
Saloon,
outs.
Quasit
This is
Resort
Morgan's
Golf
just
Club,
2nd
George's
appearance
Pizza
here
House,
on Cape Cod.
F. McCormick Company.
Milo, it feels like not the game, but a large part of it right here, right now. You get out of it. We've seen the Mariners come from behind. Last couple of times they've played at home. Remember that walk-off win over Chatham a couple nights ago?
Yep.
Harwich was down in the 9th inning. Still plenty of time, just the top of the 6th, but Owen Jenkins, who's at the dish for the Whitecaps, leads this Brewster team with 5 doubles. He can find a gap. Can Morgan find the put-away pitch? Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-1 Brewster leads. And Morgan's ready on the rubber. First pitch, breaking ball. It hit him. Jenkins got nicked by the baseball, and that's going to score a Whitecap run. It's now 4-1 Brewster.
That's just a backbreaker because it doesn't really even give you an opportunity to try and work out of this unscathed.
From Miami, center fielder, number 24.
It's going to bring up Michael Torres. Brown scores. Everybody goes station to station. Bases are still loaded. Now a 3-run advantage for Brewster. Right on left with Torres. Morgan from the belt. First pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1. So he went to the breaking ball that hit Jenkins in the first pitch. Now he comes back to Torres with the fastball. I think Morgan's just trying to figure out what can find the zone for him right now. The 1-0. That's a strike. Fastball on the inner edge, 1-1. Torres, a .220 hitter, 9 runs batted in. He has a really good eye. He'll take the RBI walk, leads Brewster with 14 walks this summer. 1-1. Torres swings and misses at a high fastball. A good one from the righty Luke Morgan. And the Mariners are a strike away. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1 already in for the Whitecaps here in the top of the 6th. Brewster leads by 3. 2-strike pitch. Morgan comes home. Up high, not even close. And it's 2-2. Milo, that has been the inning right now. When Morgan's gotten to 2 strikes, he's just not finding that put-away pitch.
Yeah, it's almost a microcosm of the entire inning because he got 2 quick outs, and now in the at-bats he's getting 2 strikes, but no put-away pitch.
Torres is 2 for 2 today. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, bouncing ball to Kurland at second. He's there and fires to first. Morgan comes in the game retired too quickly, but then a 2-out hit, a pair of walks, and a hit-by-pitch RBI from Owen Jenkins. The bases were left loaded, but not after one comes across for the Caps. It's 4-1 Brewster. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. The Mariners have work to do offensively when we come back on Cape League TV.
Margaritaville Resort.
Harwich trails Brewster at home 4-1. Bottom of the 6th inning on Cape League TV. There's been a lot going on for the Mariners as of late. Let's take a look at some of the most recent Mariners transactions. Nico Brini back and starting. The new Vanderbilt transfer out of Wofford originally. And then the Mariners pick up some new pitchers, while also getting rid of Albanese, Sosky, Taff, and Garrity. See 3 of those undrafted free agents. Albanese going to the pros, Sosky to the Yankees, Garrity signs with the Padres organization, and Taff had just hit an innings limit over the summer. See what the Mariners can do here. Start of the home half of the 6th inning. 9-1-2 coming up for the M's. It's Kirikoff, Larson, and Castellón.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th.
The lefty Sam Hentges, who came in the game for a scoreless 5th inning, is back out there on the hill for Brewster. Kirikoff has been on base twice tonight, a single and a walk, hitting in the bottom of the Harwich order. Left on right matchup. First pitch. Micah takes a heater high. That's ball 1.
Kirikoff's been putting together some good at-bats so far tonight. I mean, last time up, a double-digit pitch at-bat that ended in a walk.
He's ahead 1-0. Hentges from the belt. Swung on, chopped foul. It's now 1-1. So in Kirikoff's first 2 plate appearances, singled in the second. That was an 8-pitch at-bat, full count pitch, singled up the middle. And then the 4th inning had a 10-pitch walk. Micah has stolen 2 bases as well tonight. 1-1. Check swing, and he did go around. Kirikoff is now down 1-2. That was a breaking ball in the dirt.
But 2 strikes is not the end of the world for Micah. His 10-pitch walk, his last time up, he was down 0-2.
You're right. He likes to fight. He's down 1-2 here. Here comes the pitch. That's a fastball, a little bit too tall. Evens the count at 2-2 with Kirikoff. Kirikoff has definitely embraced that role tonight that Steve Englert has mentioned he likes to do with his 9-hole hitter. A pseudo leadoff man, some speed, a guy who will fight off pitches, draw out long at-bats. 2-2. Kirikoff takes up and away, and the count goes full on the Harwich center fielder for 3 times tonight. This is his 3rd at-bat. Mariners down 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hentges gets the signal and fires the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kirikoff goes down for the first time tonight. That's the first strikeout out of the bullpen, and now an inning and a 3rd from Sam Hentges.
From Boston College,
good
the right
pitch.
fielder.
Against Kirikoff, he's going to lay off of those balls right outside. He has a great eye, but if you pitch near the zone, Kirikoff can't catch up to 94 miles an hour.
Lineup turns over. Take a look at some of the youngsters prowling around the outfield and the woods.
In front of the camera.
First pitch to Larson. down and away, ball 1. Yeah, we might have to send our fully equipped security team here at Whitehouse Field out there. That is horseplay in left center. Maybe Larson could just knock one over there, wake him up. 1-0, left-on-left matchup. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom 6. Here's the 1-0. Larson takes high. It's now 2-0. Hentges is a guy who is not unbeatable. I mean, at Air Force in 19 appearances, an ERA above 6.5. It's 24 innings of work. Gave up 18 earned runs. 2-0 on the Harwich All-Star outfielder, Colin Larson. Here it is. That's a strike. Nice fastball at 93 on the outside corner. 2-1. Larson 1 for 3 today, singled back in the second inning. Has lined out and struck out as well. 2-1. Larson takes another strike. That's back-to-back fastballs painted on that outside edge. 2-2.
When Larson's in the box, it seems like he puts most of his pressure on his front leg. It's almost like he's leaning forward into the pitch. He wobbles a little bit. It's a slight lean on his right foot.
See what he does with the 2-2. Takes it in the dirt. That skipped 2 feet in front of the plate. And the count goes full here on the Mariner leadoff man in the 6th. There's 1 out, nobody on. Castellón on deck. It's the first 3 in the Harwich lineup. All 3 have been on tonight. All 3 are All-Stars. See if Colin can set the table for Castellón and the rest to follow. Trailing 4-1 in the 6th. Payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. A nice at-bat from Larson. That's his 16th walk of the summer. He leads the Mariners. And a 1-out base runner for Nate Castellón.
I mean,
From Cal Poly,
Colin Larson is
baseman,
never in a
number
rush
12,
at the plate,
Nate
and he'll always
Castellón.
take his walk. And now the heart of the lineup coming up with a runner on base. Chance to claw back into this one. I mean, the Mariners are out hitting Brewster right now, 7-5.
And believe it or not, of those 7 hits, Harwich does not have an RBI tonight. Curlin scored on a wild pitch. First pitch to Castellón, swung on and fouled away into the seats down the right field line. Castellón has been on twice tonight. He's 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and a pop-out.
10 runners already left on for the M's. We're just through not even 6 innings.
0-1. Castellón easily stays away from a fastball. In another galaxy, ball and a strike. There's a big hole on this right side of the Brewster infield. The first baseman, Eddie Yaman, is holding on Larson at first. See if Castellón can go the other way with one. The 1-1. Up and in. It's now 2-1. At the same time, in the inning and a third we've seen from Hentges out of the pen, he's now walked 2 and hit a batter. Maybe the game plan, trailing by 3, is let the pitcher come to you. 2-1. Swung on, and that's a jam shot foul. It's now 2-2.
Fastball getting up to near 95 miles an hour for Hentges on the hill right now. Castellón seems to be on it, putting together some good hacks.
Larson has not tried to run off first. Here comes the 2-2. Up high, count goes full. Of 3 hitters in this 6th inning now, all 3 have seen payoff pitches. Kirikov struck out on the first payoff pitch he saw. Larson just walked on a 3-2 pitch. Can Castellón get aboard as well? Larson goes, ground ball up the middle. The second baseman, Abernathy, threw it away. Larson doesn't know where it is, but now he's back to second and everybody is safe. A hard-hit grounder that played perfectly into Abernathy, who was going to cover second base. Could have been a double play, but the error from the second baseman, Abernathy, on this pitch to the shortstop gives Harwich some life here. First and second, 1 out for Ty Smolinski in the 6th.
Yeah, normally the steal takes away the double play, but that ball was hit perfectly to Abernathy at second. But just an errant toss. And now a big chance for the Mariners, giving them some extra outs.
Here's Smolinski, 1 for 3 tonight. Left on left, first pitch. Smolinski takes, fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Smolinski was the man on Sunday, the last time the Mariners played. Had a huge RBI double in that one. That was a 2-ribby double in the 6th inning. The Mariners pulled away from there. 0-1. Smolinski takes another fastball for a strike. And Ty is tasked with battling here, down 0-2. Smolinski leads this team with 12 runs batted in. This time around against Brewster, a double here would get Harwich back into it. 0-2. Check swing, a good take on a pitch down low and away. And Smolinski takes ball 1. 1-2. Castellon off of first, Larson off of second. Both of the base runners for Harwich have speed.
Yeah, ball in the gap. Very much score 2.
4-1 Brewster, bottom 6. 2 on with 1 out. Here's the 1-2. Smolinski waves and misses at strike 3. That is a nasty breaking ball from Hentges. And he's worked out of trouble already once tonight. But with 2 on and 2 out, Jamie Shevchek is going to go back to his bullpen for the 3rd time tonight before Braden Jacksaw can get an at-bat against the lefty Hentges. The Mariners have been leaving runners on all night. They've left 10 on. And with 2 outs, they have 2 more on here in the 6th inning. Don't go anywhere. A big spot in the middle innings on Cape League TV.
2-2.
The Mariners have had guys on all night tonight, but trail Brewster 4-1. Another chance in the bottom of the 6th for Harwich. Brewster goes to the bullpen with 2 outs and 2 on. It's Otto Espinoza, the righty out of Cal, to face the DH Braden Jacksaw.
From Oregon, the designated hitter.
In Espinoza's freshman season at Cal, he appeared 15 times, had a sparkling 3.7 ERA. Here's another California kid, Jacksaw. He plays collegiately at Oregon. First pitch. Jacksaw takes a heater. That's a little bit low, ball 1. Jacksaw's 1 for 3 tonight. Singled back in the 3rd inning. Mariners have just 1 extra base hit tonight. It was a Cade Curlin double. 7 hits. 1-0, runners go. Jacksaw takes, throw goes all the way to second, and that ends the inning. Owen Jenkins knew exactly where he was going to go if the Mariners went for the double steal, and he ends another 2-hit inning for Harwich, and Brewster still leads 4-1. That's the end of 6. We'll be back for the 7th on Cape League TV. Brewster giving Harwich everything they can handle here into the 7th inning. The Whitecaps lead 4-1. This is the second time that Brewster has come to Whitehouse Field. Mariner fans don't like to remember the first time. It was a 13-0 run rule victory to spoil Harwich's 4th of July game. And the Whitecaps in the season series so far of 3 games have outscored Harwich 22-2. Brewster's 2-1 for record. The only Harwich win was the first time they met on the 3rd of July. That was a 2-1 nail-biter. Ever since then, 13-0 Brewster, 8-0 Brewster, and now the Whitecaps lead 4-1. Start of the 7th inning. It's 9-1-2 coming up for the Whitecaps. The reliever Luke Morgan gave up 1 run in the 6th inning out of the bullpen, is back out there for the M's.
Brody DeLamelier.
It'll be Brody DeLamelier up for a right-on-right matchup. DeLamelier's 0 for 2 so far tonight. Morgan from the windup. First pitch. Swing and a hard-hit liner towards Brini and left, but Nico ran it down. Head-high catch on the run for the opening out of the 7th inning. Brini got a great jump on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got a way about it over there in left field.
From Tennessee,
Great first step.
Baseman, number 5.
And really tracked it down with ease.
So the lineup flips over. This will be the 4th time through tonight. 1 out in the 7th. Jay Abernathy, the leadoff man, is 1 for 3, doubled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Harwich will shift Abernathy here. Smolinski, the shortstop, playing up the middle. Castellón from 3rd hugs the line and is playing on the infield grass. First pitch to Jay, fastball away. It's 1-0. A large crowd here tonight in Harwich. 1,626 the attendance. Some have fizzled out as we're now approaching 9 o'clock. The 1-0, fastball down low. Back-to-back pitches miss to Abernathy. You get north of 1,600 on a Tuesday night. Could be a testament to the Mariners being 6 games over 500, or just every night being a good night for baseball out here on Cape Cod. 2-0, Abernathy launches one high in the air, deep to center field. Kirikoff, he found it all the way to the warning track, made the grab, 2 down in the 7th.
Yeah, we rarely see balls hit that deep to center here at Whitehouse Field. Now a couple off Brewster bats. Kirikoff has dealt with both of them pretty nicely.
The wind is still whipping out to left center field. Ball got caught up in a big gust on this Abernathy flyout. That probably went close to 380, maybe 390 feet. It's 400 feet to dead center. Abernathy has not hit a home run this summer. Laskovsky digs in, 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch, breaking ball. That clips the outside corner, called strike 1. Laskovsky, the new North Carolina transfers, 0 for 3 tonight. Going to take some late inning magic for Harwich, down by 3, 0-1. Laskovsky stays away from one up high. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, they're right there with the Whitecaps. Feels like they've been real close a couple times. Now it's a big Time position for Morgan to try and shut down this Whitecap team. Got 2 outs last inning, then it all unfolded.
1-1. That skips in the dirt. You're right, Milo. It was 2 quick outs, then a 2-out single from Brown. Yaman walked, Strayer walked. Never want 2-out walks, especially when you walk the bases loaded. And then he hit Owen Jenkins with a pitch to bring in a run last time Brewster was up. So a similar situation here, except we're just at the first 2 outs part. And the Mariners want to keep it that way. 2-1, drips in there, and evens the count on the shortstop, Jamie Laskowski. It's kind of an eerie night tonight. I mean, it is dark out there beyond the trees. You definitely don't want to go back there by yourself. 2-2 pitch. Laskowski fouls it away. You know, in the mean streets of Harwich here, you don't know what you're going to get. The old adage of some monsters back there past that outfield wall into the woods.
Luke, I wouldn't want to go back there by myself on a 2 p.m. on a Sunday when it's 75 degrees and sunny.
Might find some home run balls out there,
That's
actually. 2-2 again. Outside, count goes full on Laskowski.
So he's gotten 2 quick outs. Now full on Laskowski. I go ahead and say this is one of the more important pitches of the game to this point, because who knows what happens if you let this guy loose.
Harwich just trying to give them a chance to get back up and hit. Down by 3. Payoff pitch, down low. Ball 4. So the third 2-out walk surrendered by Luke Morgan. He hasn't pitched 2 innings out of relief, and it extends the Brewster 7th to the third hitter in their lineup, Holden Pantier.
From Walters State Community College.
And those are the ones that make you scratch your head a little bit.
Holden Pantier.
You have to understand that Laskowski has a prowess of an all-star here on Cape Cod. He's north of a 300 hitter, but you get 2 outs. You feel like a lot of these pitchers, they get some momentum going. They want a challenge, but Morgan has kind of nibbled in these 2-out situations. Can he get Pantier with now 1 on? Runner goes from first pitch, called a strike, throw down to second, and it just got out of the glove of Cade Curlin covering. I'm not sure if the sliding Laskowski knocked it out or not, but the throw was on line again from the catcher, Sean James. His 3rd on-target throw of the night.
Yeah, James has put on a clinic back behind the plate. Just, I mean, a perfect throw. Maybe would have gotten Laskowski, but it would have been close.
It was a mammoth jump from the shortstop for the Whitecaps, his 8th stolen base in 10 tries now. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Pantier takes, down and away, ball and a strike. Pantier is 0 for 3 tonight. Has an RBI on a ground out back in the 3rd. He's up to 5 runs batted in. This is just his 28th at-bat of the summer in Brewster. 1-1. Swing and a miss. James actually caught that lunging out. And that keeps Laskowski from getting into scoring position at 3rd. It's now 1-2 on Pantier. It's 2-out walks. Definitely makes the situation like this more tense after Laskowski now improves into scoring position with the stolen base. Brewster up by 3. Runner at second, 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. James has to complete this with the throw down. He does. And there you go, Luke Morgan. A scoreless 7th inning after a 2-out walk and stolen base. Harwich still trails by 3. Don't go anywhere. Everybody's stretching here in Whitehouse. Can the Mariners stretch out these runners in scoring position and capitalize? We'll be right back on Cape League TV. Harwich down by 3. Everybody all loosened up, stretched out in the middle of the 7th inning, but the Mariners coming up, and they got some work to do. Brewster has won the last 2 between the Whitecaps and the M's. With Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman to give you your answer from Harwich Mariner Trivia today. Trident Trivia. Question was, what Harwich Mariner has last won a Cy Young Award in Major League Baseball? Well, that would be Tim Lincecum.
Braden Jackson.
And he's not just a Mariner legend, that's a Major League Baseball legend. Great pitcher with the San Francisco Giants. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Mariners. Thank you, Milo. First pitch to Jacksaw. Fastball taken for strike 1. You know, in between the commercial break, I always ask Sawyer, our producer, who comes up with the questions. They're always good, so shout out Sawyer. That I think it might be Lincecum. The 0-1. Up and in. Ball and a strike now on the Harwich DH Jacksa. Just about everyone in this lineup, outside of Coates and Brini, has been on base tonight. 1-1. Breaking ball stays up. Jacksa ahead 2-1. But the Mariners are now up to a whopping 11 runners left on base. They've left at least one on base in every inning of tonight's game. The 2-1. Jacksaw takes a strike. That's a really good fastball. Came in at 96 on the outside corner. 2-2. Tim Lincecum had that nickname of the Freak back when he was pitching. 2-2. Jacksaw checked his swing, appealed to first. He did not go around. That's our boy Silvio Martinez over there. And the count's full on the Harwich leadoff man in the 7th.
Yeah, what a stretch that was for Lincecum over there. Someone who's not talked about, I think, as much as he should.
Espinoza, payoff pitch, swing and a miss. That's 97 right past Jacksaw. Espinoza says, take that. 1 down. Mariners 7th.
From Cincinnati, the first baseman, number 25.
To that fastball, just power on power.
Coates.
Sometimes you just don't get your bat around quick enough.
Brings up Quentin Coates. Coates back in the lineup. 0 for 2 so far tonight. A couple days off. Right on right. First pitch. Coates takes. That's another fastball for a strike. I mean, it's one thing to throw 97. But the rising sophomore out of Cal, Otto Espinoza, this guy's 6'2", 180. Not some 6'6", 250 right-hander. 0-1, another heater right past him. He's grooving it in there. And the key to that is that he's been all over the zone. He's not spiking it. He's not throwing it to the backstop. He's quickly ahead of Coates. No balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Breaking ball high. I don't know why he would ever throw anything besides that gas. Jacksaw couldn't catch up to it. Coates has been late twice. See what he goes to. 2-strike pitch again. Breaking ball again. Missed. 2-2.
Yeah, Coates is laying off that pitch. I'd maybe expect a fastball here.
2-2. Oh my gosh, look out. Up and in on Coates. He limbos his way out of that pitch. Count goes full. 1 out, nobody on. Harwich 7th. Brewster up 4-1. Otto Espinoza throwing gas out of the Brewster pen. Payoff pitch. Down in the dirt. A nice at-bat from Coates. And he walks with 1 out. That'll bring up Cade Kurland.
Yeah, really nice
From
at-bat
Florida,
from Coates.
the second baseman.
Trying to get
number
something
11,
going here for the M's.
Cade Kurland.
Cade Kurland now up. He's been the best Harwich hitter tonight. He's 2 for 2, a double, a single, and he's walked. He's been on base all 3 tries tonight. Mariners looking for base runners. 1 on with 1 out, trailing by 3. First pitch. Kurland takes a heater, nowhere near the zone. And maybe we're starting to see Espinoza come back to earth. Seemed like all of his fastballs were center cut or right on a corner for a strike. Last few have been wayward. 1-0. Kurland ducks out of that high fastball. 2-0. Brini on deck. Mariners looking to start a rally in the 7th with the bottom of the order. Curlin hitting 6th. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Good fastball to get Espinoza back in this at-bat with Curlin. Have not seen a Mariner catch up to that heat yet. Curlin can do it. He's used to it. 4-year Florida Gator. 2 on pitch. Up high, ball 3.
We saw a little bit of this from Luke Morgan, the Mariner pitcher, just starting to lose control of the strike zone a little bit.
Counts 3-1 on the Harwich second baseman. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. That was 95 belt high. Curlin tried to hit that ball past the trees out in left field. Could have a payoff pitch in this at-bat. It's a big one. Harwich number 2 in the Cape League, 121 walks as a team. Payoff. Skied foul. That looked to be a strike. It was another fastball from the righty Espinoza.
Curlin's going to go up there and battle. He's already been aboard 3 times tonight.
Coates off of first, a small lead. Check on him. Back with a dive. Pulled the first baseman Yaman into a slide towards the dugout, but he caught it. Chance for Curlin to strap back in. What's coming? We've seen a lot of fastballs from Espinoza, but he has thrown that slider a few times. 3-2. Fought off foul. Was late on a fastball at the knees, but credit to Curlin. He's staying alive here. Harwich is running out of outs. Down by 3, bottom of the 7th. 1 on with 1 out. Brini on deck, looks for a 2-on situation. Can Curlin get aboard for the 4th time tonight?
Coates is getting dirty over there at first.
Coates has stolen 2 bases in 4 tries this summer. Now is a bigger lead off of first. Another check. And whether it's Espinoza being really worried about him or just a little bit timid, trying to think more about this payoff pitch to Curlin, he's got to come home at some point. He will here. The 3-2, up and away, ball 4. A heck of an at-bat from Cade Curlin. He's on for the 4th time tonight. And the Mariners, back-to-back one-out walks on the reliever Otto Espinoza.
Nico Brini.
A chance here in the 7th, trailing by 3. Nico Brini, the batter.
Yep, he's been up with a few runners on already. Big chance for him to make even more of a mark in his first game back with the Mariners this season.
Brini 0 for 3, coming off a season at school where he knocked in 56. First pitch, fastball, called a strike. Espinoza's in that rhythm right now where he's probably throwing a ball for every strike. But that can be tough for hitters because you don't know if you're getting that high fastball or one center cut. 0-1. Swung on, jam shot. It's going to hit the ground. Laskovsky comes in from short. Did he beat Brini? No. Brini catches a jam shot and hustles it into an infield hit. And don't look now, but the Mariners have him loaded with just 1 out in the 7th.
Yeah, just put the ball in play right there. Gets jammed.
The catcher,
a little
number 5,
looper.
Sean
And heads
James.
up by both runners to recognize that and get to their bag safely. And then Brini just run hard down the line. Wants that first hit back this season.
Harwich scored their lone run in a 3-hit 2nd inning. They've left 11 on base tonight. But the best chance they've had is coming right here, right now in the 7th. And the pitching coach for Brewster, Brian Del Rosso, wants a word with Espinoza. Ooh, what a chance this is. We've mentioned multiple times tonight, James has had all 3 at-bats. He's 0 for 3 with at least 1 in scoring position.
Yeah. 4 runners left on base so far for just Sean James today.
But he could come through if he can just extend this 7th inning, find his way on any way possible. It will score a run. Also have the sacrifice RBI chance, but Trailing by 3 here in the 7th. It feels like this is the Mariners' shot to get multiple back. James, a .216 hitter, 2 runs batted in on the summer. And Del Rosso exits the hill. It looks like Brewster's going to stay with Espinosa.
3 for 15 is the clip for Sean James, with runners in scoring position so far this summer.
He's come through a few times. He's been clutch for Harwich. What does he have here in the 7th? First pitch. James takes up and in. Ball 1. Brainy off of first. Kurland off of second. Coates, the lead runner at third. A pair of walks and the Brainy hit has him loaded for Harwich. 1-0. James stays away. And that's a strike. 1-1.
That looked real close. James not happy with the call.
Ready to hit now. 1-1. Swung on, foul tipped into the catcher Jenkins mid. And James behind a ball and 2 strikes. Kirikoff on deck. Bottom of the order for Harwich. 2-strike pitch to James. Swing and a chopper into his own leg. Sean James trying to battle here with them loaded and just 1 out in a 2-strike count.
You have to imagine that he knows the situation right now. He's been up in these types of spots so far tonight. Can he come through now and put his past 2 at-bats out the window?
The pitch. Up high. Counts 2-2. The pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball to short. Leskovsky has it to second for 1. A double play. A dagger from the Whitecaps. Espinosa leaves them loaded on a 6-4-3 inning-ending Sean James double play. Man, the Harwich Mariners have had so many opportunities tonight, but just cannot cash in, and they're not doing it in the 7th. 4-1 Brewster. Ben Alexson coming into the game when we come back in the 8th on Cape League TV.
Try it, then buy it. Rent a new cat for up to 90 days. Then apply 100% of the rental cost to the purchase and save. The Milton Cat Rent to Purchase offer. Try it, then buy it. Go to miltoncat.com/RPO.
Reader's Hardwood Supply is a candy store for wood, whether you're a professional or an amateur. Reader's Hardwood Supply carries over 70 species of both domestic and imported lumber from around the world, displayed in over 300 self-serve bins for your selection. So for your next project, make it your masterpiece with stock from Reader's Hardwood Supply. The woods of the world are here at Reader's Hardwood Supply.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
.4-1 Whitecaps over the Mariners as we start the 8th. And it's time to take a check on some scores across the Cape presented by the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. Brewster over the Mariners, 4-1, end of the 7th, start of the 8th. YD over Chatham, 7-2, top of the 7th. Bourne beat Katuitt earlier in the day after 8 innings, 4-3. Hyannis over Falmouth, they won 3-0. And 6-2 Wareham over Orleans. We start the 8th here at Whitehouse Field, 4-1 Whitecaps over the Mariners, and a new pitcher on the hill for the M's is Ben Alexson, the tall righty on the hill, who is making his 5th appearance so far this summer. Has pitched 8 innings, a 7.88 ERA for the Fairfield product.
Leading off the top of the 8th inning,
Harwich has 2 innings now, Milo,
number 15,
to
Blaine Brown.
avoid losing the season series against YD. If Brewster takes 3 of the first 4, there's only 1 more left.
They play on the last day of the regular season. It's 4, 5, and 6 in the Whitecap lineup, starting with Brain Brown. Pitch is outside with the off-speed. Lefty Brown playing left field today. He's been aboard twice. A walk in the second, flew out to center in the third, and then singled in the sixth. Alex in with his wide stance on the mound. Kicks and comes home. Off-speed way upstairs. It gets by James to the screen. And it's 2-0.
Yeah, just looking for a strike thrower now. Eat up the next 6 outs and give Harwich a couple cracks at a 3-run deficit. Feels like they should have way more than 4 runs, but they only have 1 right now.
Harwich is out-hitting Brewster 8-5 as Alexson comes home. Fastball popped foul back behind the plate. And it's now 2-1. They've left a boatload of hitters on base, 13 of them to be specific, and they're 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Have not come through with runners on. And the biggest example was this last inning, Sean James, a 6-4-3 double play with the bases loaded. They don't bring across 1 run. Here's the 2-1. There's a strike with a curveball, and it's 2-2, 81 miles an hour from Ben Alexson. He steps on the first base side of the rubber, takes a deep breath, and he fires. Swing and a miss. Off speed in the dirt, a drop third strike. Sean James gathers and throws to first in time. And there's 1 gone here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, that was an at-bat where Alexson fell behind 2-0 and 3 straight pitches to strike out the cleanup hitter Brown. It was really well done. It's one thing to strike a guy out, but when you're behind in the count and a power hitter like Brown, double-digit home runs out of Tennessee in the SEC, Alexson was like, I'm already down, I might as well go after him, and dominated him the rest of the way.
He deals to Yaman. Pitch is outside. It's now 1-0 to Eddie Yaman, the right-handed hitting first baseman. He's 0 for 2 today, a pair of strikeouts and a walk. That walk came back in the 6th. There's the 1-0. Curveball is a strike on the outside corner. And the count is 1-1. Yaman, last time Brewster came to Whitehouse, hit a home run to the opposite field, deep to right. A dangerous hitter came into the evening hitting .281 with a pair of homers. 1-1. Down and in. And it's 2-1. Alexson has been going to that off speed a whole bunch. He takes a step behind the mound now, regathers his thoughts, and climbs the hill once again. Trying to hold down Brewster here as Harwich trails 4-1 in the top of the 8th. 2-1. Foul tipped at the plate, and it's 2-2.
Brewster has just suffocated Harwich with their pitching staff. Mariners had not scored in the last 2 games to Brewster, and now they only have 1 run through 7 innings offensively tonight. And that's been the difference. You can talk about the Whitecaps' success at the plate or big plays they've made, but Harwich just can't hit against this team.
2-2. Chopper, third base side. Castellon backs up, gloves, slings to first in time. Nice spinning throw from Castellon. And there's 2 gone.
Man, he makes that look so easy. That is a full 360 turn on the move while you got a guy busting it up the line.
From Florida, the designated
And how about this?
hitter,
You'll see
26,
Castellon in this replay
Cash
slow down.
Strayer.
It's just that mental note on the throw that he doesn't have to throw a laser because Yaman doesn't run as good as some other guys. And that ends up being the reason it was on target. We saw him throw 2 of those away against YD on Sunday because he had to throw it too hard.
Castellon, someone who plays a lot of second base too. Pitch is a line drive to left center field. Base hit for Cash Strayer. He's aboard with a single. It's thrown back in by Nico Bree, the left fielder. So a runner on now for Brewster with 2 gone. Cash Strayer has now reached 3 times tonight. Hit a 2-run home run back in the second, walked in the 6th. And now the Caps trying to get it going on offense. It's up to Owen Jenkins, the right-handed hitting catcher.
Strayer's just a ball player. He gets on base every way. Walk, single, long ball. Reason that guy's an all-star.
And he takes his lead over at first. Pitch home. is just barely upstairs. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball misses. It's 1-0 now to Jenkins. He's 0 for 2 today, a pair of ground outs to third, and then he was hit by a pitch back in the 6th. Alexson from the stretch. He fires. There's a strike right down the middle, 88 miles an hour. It's 1-1. Mariners have 8 hits, Brewster with 6, each team with a pair of errors. But the Caps lead 4-1 over Harwich here. Top of the 8th, 2 gone. Strayer off of first. Slight breeze out to left. There's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. A fastball upstairs, and it's 1-2.
Good challenging pitch from Alexson. We haven't seen Ben Alexson in a good amount of time. He's had a breakout summer out here just from Fairfield. He's been competing with the best, and he's done a nice job on the Cape.
Trying to work out of this inning unscathed. 1-2. Foul down the right field line. Just an inside-out swing there from Owen Jenkins to barely stay alive. If the Whitecaps win this game, they secure the season series over the Mariners. That, of course, has playoff implications. 1-2. Line drive to right field, slicing down the line. It lands in fair territory. Strayer around second. He goes into third, and he gets the wave. Throw from right is not in time. Jenkins all the way to third base on an RBI triple. And it's 5-1 Brewster here in the top of the 8th.
2-out rallies. Brewster does it better than anyone out here on the Cape, and their catching duo of Jenkins with the RBI triple and Lee, who's on the bench tonight, are far and away the best on Cape Cod. When you have a 1-2 punch that can play a day on and a day off of a guy who leads the team in extra base hit and the other guy leads the team in home runs, I mean, you got something special. And tonight was Jenkins' turn.
Another quick 2 outs in the inning, and then Brewster storms back. And they get it done with 2 away. Here's the pitch to Torres, the lefty. A check swing, but it was a strike anyways. Down at the knees, 80 miles an hour from Alexson. He got Blaine Brown to strike out. Yaman to ground out to third. Then a little single from Strayer. It seemed like a little looper at the time. It's turned into a run. 0-1. Downstairs. It's 1-1.
Harwich is going to have to clean it up. Not just Alexson, but the entire bullpen and the 2-out, nobody-on situations, finding a way to just get back into the dugout.
Alexson trying to limit the damage here. Pitch. Misses inside. Up to 90 miles an hour on the fastball there. Torres was taking all the way confidently. Strayer scored in the inning after the triple from Jenkins, who leads off of third. There's the 2-1 pitch. There's a strike on the upper half of the zone. An off speed, maybe not where it was intended to be thrown, but it's a called strike either way. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Your 5-1 Brewster over the Mariners, top of the 8th. Alexson holds the ball in his right hand, now brings it into his glove. Pitch home. High and wide. 91 miles an hour with the fastball there, but the count's full. Goes down for some rosin, throws it back on the mound. Steps on the rubber. Here's the payoff pitch from Alexson. Popped up behind the plate and out of play. So it's still full on Michael Torres.
This has been the theme of the season series between these two teams and really the season domination to this point for Brewster is they just fight. I mean, with 2 strikes, if Harwich executes, Brewster just survives another pitch.
Payoff delivery. Hard hit, right side of the infield, through for a base hit. Jenkins comes in to score. It's a ribby single from Michael Torres, his 3rd knock of the evening. And now it's 6-1 Brewster in the top of the 8th.
And that's just a perfect example. Alexson throws a really good two-strike pitch.
Right fielder,
and Torres just puts it over the netting behind us, foul ball. And now he gets one he likes, and he's able to put it into right center field for an RBI knock. I mean, that is good baseball. They just slowly but steady, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the sixth, now 2 in the eighth. Next thing you know, they got a 5-run lead.
3 straight hits for the Caps. Here's Brody Delamalier, the righty. Pitch is a strike on the inside corner.
Watching the way Brewster plays against Harwich, it does make it a little bit hard to believe that they have not beaten YD this summer.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Harwich off a 9-3 win over YD. Brewster just tied Falmouth. 0-1, hard hit deep to left center field. Kirikoff on the run, but he's there. And he makes the grab right in the left center field gap to retire the side. But the damage was done for the Whitecaps. 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 6-1 Brewster here on Cape League TV.
If you're a Massachusetts resident and don't have a bachelor's, you could be attending 4Cs for free, all while preparing for careers that actually move you forward. Aviation maintenance, nursing, dental, funeral service, we've got it all. capecod.edu/free.
Heading to Nantucket this summer? Skip the traffic and take to the skies with Cape Air. With convenient flights from Norwood to Nantucket, you can start your vacation sooner without the hassle of traffic. That way you spend more time relaxing and less time getting there. Experience the Cape Air difference and book your next flight today at capeair.com. Let Cape Air be your wings in the Northeast.
Mariners battling Brewster tonight. Bottom of the 8th, 6-1 Caps over the Nerves. Upcoming schedule for Harwich. Tomorrow at Orleans over at Eldridge Park. First pitch at 6:30. Then the day after on Thursday at Falmouth. So back-to-back road trips coming up for the Mariners. Then Friday against YD. And then the All-Star game over the weekend right here at Whitehouse Field.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for Harwich from Kent State.
We start the bottom of the 8th
fielder,
here at Whitehouse
14,
Field. It's
Micah
9-1-2 in the Harwich lineup, starting off with the right-handed hitting Micah Kirikoff. Still Otto Espinoza on the hill for Brewster. 6-1 Whitecaps over the Mariners after 2 more runs came home to score in the top half of the frame. An RBI triple from Owen Jenkins, and then an RBI single from Michael Torres. Espinoza set at the eyes. Time is called as home plate umpire Joseph Giacchio goes off and brushes home plate. There was a bunch of dirt on home plate. You wonder why? Well, it's because there was a bunch of runs scored in the last inning from Brewster. Here's the first pitch home. High and tight on the fastball. It's 1-0 now on Kirikoff, who has been putting together a pretty solid day at the plate. Has a single in the second, then walked on a double-digit plate pitch appearance in the 4th. Pitch home is downstairs. He did strike out in the 6th, but is battling up there every time he goes up. 2-0's the count. Espinoza fires home. There's a strike down the middle, and it's 2-1.
I think tonight has been one of the more frustrating nights offensively when it comes to the product of what Harwich has produced in the run column, but I think the approach to the plate has been really solid.
2-1, swing and a miss. Fastball right on by Kirikoff at 94 on the gun, and it's 2-2.
Harwich has gotten on base on 5 free passes, 4 walks, and a hit by pitch. They have 8 hits in the game. Mind you, the Mariners have just 1 hit.
2-2, swing and a miss, and Kirikoff down on strikes for the second time
Your
this
attention,
evening.
please. Defensive change for the Whitecaps.
There's one
Now
gone
playing left
here
field from Texas A&M,
in the bottom
number
of the
3,
8th.
Terrence Keel the second.
Terrence Keel is over in left field now for Blaine Brown. And now, Jamie Shevchuk, the manager for Brewster, is out of the dugout. He points to the bullpen, and there's a pitching change here at Whitehouse Field. We'll take a step aside. 6-1 Caps over the Nerves here in the bottom of the 8th on Cape League TV.
If you're a Massachusetts resident and don't have a bachelor's, you could be attending 4Cs for free, all while preparing for careers that actually move you forward. Aviation maintenance, nursing, dental, funeral service, we've got it all. capecod.edu/free.
Heading to Nantucket this summer? Skip the traffic and take to the skies with Cape Air. With convenient flights from Norwood to Nantucket, you can start your vacation sooner without the hassle of traffic. That way you spend more time relaxing and less time getting there. Experience the Cape Air difference and book your next flight today at capeair.com. Let Cape Air be your wings in the Northeast.
Still here in the bottom of the 8th. And a new pitcher on the hill for Brewster is the right-hander Jordan Martin. And he deals to Colin Larson, the leadoff man for Harwich. One gone here in the frame. Pitch home. And it's a strike with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner. And it's 0-1. 7th appearance on the summer for Jordan Martin. Pitches to a very solid 3.12 ERA. He kicks and comes home. Down and away with a fastball, and it's 1-0. His last game actually came on July 8th against Harwich. He pitched 2 innings, didn't give up a run, struck out 1, and walked 1. There's the 1-1. Hard hit deep to right field, hooking foul. And it's 1-2. 6-1 Brewster over Harwich. The story of the ballgame tonight has been leaving runners in scoring position for the Mariners. They are 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. 1-2. Downstairs, and it's 2-2. Martin checks his wrist for the pitch from pitching coach Brian Del Russo. 2-2. Downstairs again, an 82-mile-an-hour off-speed that Larson let go. So now the count's full on Larson. He's already walked today. 1 for 3, singled back in the second. 3-2. Downstairs, ball 4, and a walk for Colin Larson. Mariners down 5, trying to spark a rally here. And a walk is good news. So now it's Nate Castillon, the number 2 hitter, and third baseman.
From Cal Poly, the third baseman, number 12.
Harwich has had
Castillon.
15 at-bats with a man in scoring position tonight. That alone is a plus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge negative that you have 1 hit in those tries, and the hit hasn't brought anyone in. But you still got to be happy that you've created opportunities.
Pitch home. The righty Castillon takes inside, and it's 1-0.
I'm sure the fans would say I'd rather just get beat 10-1, be uncompetitive on offense, turn it off and watch a movie. But it's been more frustrating this way, but they've had good at-bats and they've gotten on base.
1-0. That looked like it hit Castillon, and
it hit the bat.
It hit the nub of the bat, and that's why Castillon was a little unhappy. He kind of nodded his head, was like, oh, was inches away from hitting me and putting another runner on base, but instead it's a strike, and it's 1-1. Martin comes set at the letters. He pitches. Low. It's 2-1 now. 6-1 is a large lead for the Whitecaps, but you also feel if you get some runners on, start something brewing, still got another inning to work with after this. 2-1. Inside. Castillon gets out of the way, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to put the pressure on, and you got to get something here in the 8th inning. You can't be down to your final 3 outs, down by 5 or maybe more after the top of the 9th.
Here's the pitch from Martin. Misses upstairs, so back-to-back walks for the Mariners, and now first and second here in the bottom of the 8th. They trail 6-1, but trying to get the offense
Kansas
going
State,
here late.
The shortstop, number 22, Ty Smolinski.
And now it's Ty Smolinski, the shortstop. And a big moment here. Last time up, he struck out with runners on first and second. There's the pitch. Curveball slides in for strike number 1. 78 miles an hour on the gun. Took something off of it. Double play depth for the middle of the Brewster infield. 0-1. On one hop to second base. Abernathy Fields goes to second one. On to first, not in time. So it was close to being a 4-6-3 double play. But instead, Ty Smolinski beats out the throw. Castillon is
Oregon,
out. Larson advances to third.
Braden Jackson.
All right, bring them home. Bring them home.
Now it's Braden Jackson with runners on the corners.
I think this would be a spot worth moving Smolinski on the first pitch, trying to get him to second.
Jackson wobbles in the righty box. Pitch home. Curveball's there for strike number 1 on the inside corner. Jackson so far today is 1 for 4. He singled back in the third. Has a pair of strikeouts as well. There's the 0-1. Slider outside. It's 1-1. Jackson, someone last year with Oregon, hit 10 home runs his freshman season. Has power. A home run here would make this a real ball game. 1-1. Swing and a miss. A home run hack there. Came up empty. It's 1-2. So 1-2 with 2 gone here, bottom of the 8th. 6-1 Whitecaps over the Mariners. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Down and away. It's 2-2. Wind has been blowing all evening long. It's heavy out to left field. 2-2. Outside. Ball 3.
I agree with her.
We got to get her on air some point.
I actually was thinking that today.
She has been here every single game, almost the third member of our crew. Payoff pitch. Broken bat, dribbler down the third baseline, foul.
That bat is still rolling.
Bat was rolling longer than the ball. Shortstop, Laskowski picks it up and hands it to a pitcher down in the Mariner bullpen. I mean, just a complete shattering.
Oh, my gosh.
Jackson was only left with the handle of the bat. That's going to be such a weird feeling. You're holding this bat. It's got to weigh a lot. You know, Jackson's a big guy, so probably doesn't really feel much to him. But he loses the entire bat, and he's left with just the knob. It's got to feel empty, weird. Now he grabs a new piece of lumber. It looks very different. His old bat was red and green. Now he just grabs a all-black bat. See if it has some power in it, some juice. Get the Mariners back in this thing. Payoff pitch. Smolinski runs. Line drive to right center field. Base hit. Larson's in to score. Smolinski over to third. It's an RBI single for Jackson. And it's 6-2 now. Mariners cut the Whitecap lead.
There it is. An RBI hit tonight for Harwich. Good to see Jaxa just take a pitch that I think everyone was just hoping he would get on.
From Cincinnati,
He got a
the
fastball
first
on the
baseman,
outer
number 25,
part of the zone
Quentin
and
Coates.
just went that same way with it up the middle towards right center. Keep passing the bat around here with 2 outs. You never know what can happen.
Now a right-on-right matchup again. It's Quentin Coates this time, the Cincinnati first baseman. Pitch. Curveball misses outside. The Mariners can bring home Smolinski from third. It's back to a 3-run ball game. Whitecaps got 2 back in the 7th. Offering is a strike at the knees.
Curlin's on deck. You really want to get him an at-bat in this 8th inning. If you can get Curlin at-bat as the tying run in a 6-3 game.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball high and wide. It's 1-2. Curlin has been swinging it. A double, a single, and 2 walks for the man on deck right now. Coates has been aboard twice, hit by pitch, and he walked in the 7th. 1-2. Check swing and a ball downstairs. Did he go? Yes, he did. First base umpire Silvio Martinez rings him up, and that does it in the bottom of the 8th. The Mariners strand runners on first and third, but they do bring home a run after an RBI single from Braden Jaxa. That was a close call. Looked like he didn't go. We'll be right back. Top of the 9th on the other side. Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Life can be full of surprises, but Eastern Propane and Oil is always just a call away. With a local team member available 24/7, we're always ready to support you when you need it. With an Eastern Propane and Oil technician on the way, your family's comfort is our priority. Our local team, over 500 strong, ensures your home is comfortable and warm. Eastern Propane and Oil, a local team with 24/7 service and delivery, ensuring comfort when you need it most.
It's the start of the 9th here at Whitehouse Field. 6-2, Whitecaps lead it over the Mariners. And a reminder that this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. It's still the righty on the hill, Ben Alexson, for the Mariners. He deals to the leadoff man, Jay Abernathy, 1, 2, and 3 in the Whitecap lineup. Abernathy, the lefty, digs in. Alexson on the first base side of the rubber. A deep breath, and he fires. Just missed outside with an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 1-0.
There's a consistency with the way Brewster plays, and in now 4 meetings against him, it feels like the games, each inning is earned. They drag, they go deep into the night.
Here's the 1-0. Just missed outside again with a fastball.
And that's what's going to come with a team that makes you earn every strike on the hill, that makes you, beat them at the plate. They throw strikes. They've challenged Harwich with runners on base tonight.
There's the 2-0. High drive, center field, but playable. It's shallow. Smolinski, the shortstop, is called off by the center fielder Kirikov, who makes the play. And there's one gone.
And they never just squander innings. I mean, the amount of 2-out, nobody on situations that there's been tonight, and they've drawn a 10-pitch walk, or they've muscled a broken bat into the hole for a base hit, or they've beat one out in the infield. I mean, slowly but surely it was looking like Harwich was going to out-hit Brewster by 5 to 7 hits tonight, the way the Mariners were going. And then Brewster strapped in defensively, and they've caught them in the hit category.
Here's the pitch to the lefty Laskovsky. Down and away, and it's 1-0. It's funny because Brewster came into the night 191 average with 2 outs. That was the second worst in the Cape. It's been a different story tonight. A lot of those walks, too, though. 1-0. Curveball over the middle of the plate for a strike.
I think it's been extra frustrating, though, for the M's because Brewster has beaten Harwich at their own game, and they're about to do it for the 3rd time if Harwich can't pull off a heroic in the 9th inning tonight. But they've got on the walks. They've stolen a lot of bases tonight.
Alexson kicks and comes home. Off speed way outside. James is forced to stand to catch that. That's the small ball way. Jamie Shevchuk has been doing an excellent job all summer long, preaching at playing small ball. Getting runners on. 2-out situations. Never out of it. 2-1. Fly down the left field line, foul, and it's 2-2. Fans have exited for the most part here at Whitehouse Field. Still a sprinkling of fans in the bleachers on the right and left side behind home plate. Time is 9:37 p.m. There's the 2-2. Looper left field. Dunks in for a base hit. Rainey fields and throws in. Laskovsky holds on to first with a 1-out single. Now 9 hits on the night for Brewster, and a category that was seen to be dominated by Harwich all night long is now even, 9 hits apiece.
From Walters State Community
Yeah,
College,
and I
the
think
third
in a
baseman,
game like
number
this,
7,
there's a reason why the pros
Holden
play
Pantino.
162, and out here we're playing a full summer of 40 games. You're going to catch bad breaks. Brewster's found those jam shots down the line all night. Harwich, not so much.
And a couple hard lineouts on the Harwich side of things as well. Pitch to the righty, Pantier. Curveball misses outside. It's 1-0. Pantier is 0 for 4. He does have an RBI and a ground out to third back in the 3rd inning. Pair of strikeouts. Man out of Georgia Tech. Laskovsky off of first. Here's the 1-0. Curveball this time is a strike at the knees. 6-2 Whitecaps over the Mariners here, top of the 9th. 1 gone. Runner on first. M's came in winners of 2 straight. So did Brewster, although their last game was a tie. Here's the pitch. Slider catches the outside corner, and it's 1-2. They tied 7-7 against Falmouth yesterday.
Brewster also didn't play their number 1 and 2 RBI leaders on their team, Jacob Lee nor Dane Harvey, tonight.
Wasn't necessarily the A lineup, but they're certainly getting it done. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Awkward hack from Pantier. He loses grip of the bat and follows through with his right hand, the backhand. And there's 2 gone.
From Texas A&M, the left fielder, number 3, Terrence Keel, the second.
So now the pinch hitter, Terrence Keel, who came in for defense in the last inning. Keel, a righty bat. He comes in for Blaine Brown, who scored 2 runs. He was 1 for 3 on the night with a walk as well. Some TK chants in the stands. Pitch. Downstairs. The Mariners lose this. It'll be 3 straight losses at the hands of the Whitecaps. They still play one more time. Last game of the regular season. Here's the 1-0. Slider misses outside, 2-0. These 2 teams didn't see each other in the month of June. Then all of a sudden, they've played each other 4 times in the span of a little over a week and a half. See the same team a whole bunch. You get into a groove, start to learn how to beat them. 2-0. That's a strike at the knees, and it's 2-1.
Well, that's been the case for Brewster, at least.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Harwich has not been able to get out of the slump and fight off the Brewster Demons. Shift on the righty, Keel in the box. Play to the pull side. Pitch home. Chopper slowly third base side foul. It's now 2-2. Mariners still have to come to bat here in the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Curlin, Breeny, and James. 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Down by 4, so still a chance to spark a rally. Alexson takes a step off the mound, now back on. Laskowski off of first. There's the pitch. Fouled back. Keel just got a piece of that one, lunged forward. Takes a lap around home plate. He was a defensive replacement. Now getting an at-bat tonight. On the season, Keel is hitting just 193. 2-2. Nope. A check back to Laskowski at first. Not in time. Keel went 0 for 3 yesterday against Falmouth. He did have a sac fly, pair of RBIs. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him fishing on a ball in the dirt. And that does it here in the top of the 9th. Brewster strands a single from Laskowski. And we head to the home half of the inning. Mariners trying to come back and rally. Find out if they can do so on the other side on Cape League TV. Back here at Whitehouse Field, the start of the bottom of the 9th. Here, 6-2, Whitecaps over the Mariners. It's a new pitcher on the hill for the Caps. It's Jordan Rogulski, a right-handed pitcher who stands at 6'3", 195 pounds. He deals to 6, 7, and 8 in the Harwich lineup, starting with the righty Cade Curlin. Pitch. Chopper slowly to the shortstop. Laskowski fields, fires to first in time. He picked it on a hop. It was a high hop at the knees, but he dealt with it smoothly. So 1 pitch, 1 out.
That was not an easy play that Laskowski just made. He didn't catch the ball out in front of him. He kind of caught it like hip high, running towards the first base bag, and he didn't need to slow down for it. It was just a part of his motion. And a lot of the time you see the ball maybe pop out of the glove or he's moving too fast on the transition. That was no problem for Laskowski.
Here's the lefty, Breeny. One gone here, bottom 9, 6-2 Brewster. Pitch on. And there's a strike at the knees, 97 on the gun from Rogolski. The righty actually dealt to Harwich as a closer back on July 8th. Pitched an inning, gave him no runs, struck out 1. 0-1. High fly, left field. Heel is there, and he makes the grab. About 10 steps in from his position spot. Now there's 2 gone.
Yeah, Brewster has gone as far as infiltrating
From Mississippi
Whitehouse
State,
Field with
the
their own
catcher,
little
number
student
5,
section over
Sean
here.
James.
And they're doing the Norway,
row chant. Yeah. Bringing some World Cup flair to Whitehouse Field. Down the first baseline. Here's the righty, Sean James. Pitch. Upstairs, and it's 1-0. 6-2. Brewster over the Mariners earlier today. Spain advanced to the World Cup final after their 2-0 win over France. They play the winner of Argentina and England in the final. 1-0. That's a strike at the knees, and it's 1-1. There's the 1-1. Tapper foul, third baseline, and the Mariners are down to their last strike. Story of the game has been Mariner hitting with runners in scoring position tonight. Harwich has 2 for 18 in runners in scoring position, have left 15 runners on. There's the 1-2. High fly down the right field line. Delamalier is there, but it's out of the reach of the first baseman, Eddie Yaman. Right near the bullpen of Brewster. And a couple players sprinkle over there as the bullpen is all standing up. They're expecting this game to be over very soon. Rogolski stands back on the hill. Everyone back in their respective positions. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Bottom 9, and it's 6-2 Brewster. Here's the offering. Chopper to shortstop. Laskowski is there. Field spins, throws. Stretch from the first baseman, Yaman, in time. The ball game is over, and Brewster takes it 6-2 over Harwich for their 3rd straight win over the M's.
What a play to end this game. Laskowski. And the pick. Oh my gosh, Brewster. They love playing in Harwich.
And they love doing the ring around the rosy out in center field. A circle over there. They run on in after a 6-2
Final
win.
score, Whitecaps 6, Mariners
Brewster takes
2.
it. They have now won 3 in
Harwich
a row.
will be on the road
mini
tomorrow,
Mariner win
July
streak
15th
of
to take on the Orlando
2 in a row ends here. And tomorrow, the Mariners are back in action. They travel to Eldridge Park, a first pitch of 6:30 at Orleans.
right here.
It just never really clicked for the Mariners tonight with runners in scoring position, left a whole bunch of runners on base. The hits were there at the beginning of the game, but just could not capitalize.
Harwich left 15 guys on base in total of the night, but you really swallow when you look at the stats. You see the Mariners had 7 hits in the first 3 innings. 7 hits in the first 3 innings. That's the first 9 outs you have to play with. And the Mariners scored 1 run on a wild pitch. So just one of those games where that's baseball. It's how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes your hits come at times when you don't need them, and it set up spots where the Mariners just needed that one more hit to really staple in a rally, but they could not do it tonight. And credit to Brewster. They have the M's number. They win the season series automatically no matter what happens in the 5th and final game that these two teams will play against each other this summer. That's now 3 in a row from the Whitecaps. And the mantra and theme of all of them have been shutting the Mariners down offensively. Harwich with 9 hits tonight, but not much to show for it.
Final score 6-2. Brewster over the Mariners. That'll just about do it for us here at Whitehouse Field. Once